Did you miss out on that big football game last week? Can't get rid of that head cold? Want to get away from it all?
CBS offers you Escape.
You are groping your way slowly through the dark hold of a ship at sea, moving carefully, step by step, searching intently for something you dread to find, because you know that this ship carries a cargo of death.
The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations presents Escape, produced and directed by William N. Robeson, and carefully plotted to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Tonight we escape to a harbor front in Venezuela, and a grim voyage that started there, as told by Martin Storm in his gripping story, A Shipment of Mute Fate.
I stopped on the wharf at La Guaira and looked up the gangplank toward the liner Chan Kay, standing quietly there at her moorings. The day was warm under a bright tropic sun, and the harbor beyond the ship lay drowsy and silent. But all at once, in the midst of these peaceful surroundings, a cold chill gripped me, and I shivered with sudden dread. Dread of the thing I was doing and was about to do. But too much had happened to turn back now. I'd gone too far to stop. Well, I set the box down on the edge of the wharf, placed it carefully so as to be in plain sight and within gunshot of the captain's bridge. And then I turned and started up the gangplank. I knew what I was going to do, but I couldn't forget that a certain pair of beady eyes were watching every move I made. Eyes that never blinked and never closed, just watched and waited.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Why, it's Mr. Warner.
Hello, Mother Willis. How's the best-looking stewardess on the Seven Seas?
Well, I'm fine, Mr. Warner. I guess better run along now and get on with my chores.
Now, wait a minute. That's a fine greeting after 2 months.
Well, it's just that I'm so busy.
I don't believe a word of it. Sailing day's tomorrow. You're simply avoiding me, that's all.
Oh, no, really, I'm not.
And on the trip down from New York, you said I was your favorite passenger.
But I'm only...
Here, wait a minute. What's that you're carrying in your apron there?
Oh, it's nothing. Just supplies.
Supplies? Well, let's have a look, huh?
No, please.
What do you know? It's a cat.
It's Clara, Mr. Warner.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bowman said I had to leave her ashore, and I just couldn't.
Who's Mr. Bowman?
The new chief steward.
Oh.
Clara's been aboard with me for 2 years, and I just can't leave her here in a foreign country, especially with her condition so delicate and all.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Well, I hope you get away with it.
You won't tell anyone?
Not a soul. As a matter of fact, if things don't work out right, we may both end up smuggling.
I was happy to have you on board on the trip down 2 months ago, Christopher. I'm very glad you're coming along with us on the run back to New York.
Thanks, Captain Wood. There is one thing, though. I'm having a little trouble with the customs men here, and I wondered if you might...
I can't do it, Christopher. I just cabled your father this morning. Told him I'd done it for you if I possibly could. I sent a request from New York, you know.
Yeah, I thought he would. I wired him from upriver last week.
I hate to refuse, but it's absolutely out of the question.
Well, Captain Wood, I'm afraid I don't follow you there.
Responsibility to the passenger, son. We'll have women and children aboard. On a liner, the safety of the passengers comes ahead of anything.
But with proper precautions.
Something might happen. I don't know what, but something might.
You've carried worse things.
There isn't anything worse. And any skipper afloat will bear me out. No, Christopher, I simply can't take the chance, and that's final.
Final? Well, it wasn't final if I could do anything about it. I hadn't come down here to spend 2 months in that stinking backcountry and then be stopped on the edge of the wharf. 2 months of it. Heat, rain, insects, malaria. I'd gone clear in past the headwaters of the Orinoco, traveled through country where every step along the jungle trail might be the last one. Oh, Sanchez.
Si, Senor Warner.
You better start looking for a place to camp. Be dark in a little while.
Si, Senor. Very soon we turn to river. Camp on rocks by water. This very bad country.
This very bad country. You've been saying that for 10 days now. Very bad country.
Well, si, Senor Warner. This very bad country.
Yeah, we'll skip it. For all the luck we've had so far, it might as well be Central Park.
Central Park? I don't understand.
Well, never mind. If we don't find something... Here, what's the matter? Quiet now. Sanchez, what's wrong?
They're in the path. See? Bushmaster.
Bushmaster. The deadliest snake in the world. Bushmaster. Its Latin name was Lachesis muta. Mute fate. It lay there in the center of the path, a 10-foot length of silent death, coiled loosely in an undulant loop, ready to strike violently at the least movement. Here was the one snake that would go after any animal that walked, or any man. It lay there and watched us, not moving, not afraid, ready for anything. The splotch of its colors stood out like some horrible, gaudy floor mat lying there on the brown background of the jungle, waiting for someone to step on it. Here was what I'd come 2,000 miles for, a Bushmaster. Sanchez! I didn't want that snake killed.
He no kill, Senor. He gone. Bushmaster very smart, very quick. Must always see a bullet in time to dodge.
Well, anyway, he's gone, and the only one we've seen in 5 weeks.
Oh, we find other. This very bad country.
Well, lay off that gun the next time. Don't shoot, you understand?
Why you say no shoot? You want Bushmaster.
Sure, but I want it alive.
Hombre sacristo. Senor Warner, you tell me you want Bushmaster, but you no say alive.
You're getting $200 for it.
For dead man, what is $200? Tomorrow we go back to Caracas.
I'll make it 500, Sanchez.
I catch water snake, rattlesnake, any other kind. But I no catch Bushmaster.
Sanchez, I'll give you $1,000.
We go back to Caracas.
Well, it cost me 1,500 American dollars. But 3 days later, Sanchez brought me the snake in a rubber bag. He was shaking so hard, I thought for a moment the thing had struck him.
One thing you make sure, Senor Warner. No turn him loose in Venezuela. Because he know I the one who catch him. And he know where I live.
All right, Sanchez, I'll keep an eye on him.
También he know you pay me to catch him. All the time he watch and wait. You no forget that, Senor Warner. Because he no forget. Not ever.
Well, after going through all that trouble and danger and laying out $1,500, I wasn't going to let a pig-headed ship captain stop me at the last minute. At least not as long as the cables were still in operation between La Guaira and New York. Morning, Captain Wood. The boy at the hotel said you wanted to see me.
That's right, Christopher. Sit down.
Thank you.
It seems you weren't willing to let matters stand the way we left them yesterday.
Well, sorry to go over your head, Captain Wood, but I had to. The museum sent me all the way down here for it. And I'm not going to be stopped by red tape. This will be the only live Bushmaster ever brought to the United States.
Yes, and if I had my way, but... well, orders are orders. I got a cable from the head office this morning. All right. I suppose we talk about precautions.
I'll handle it any way you say.
Got to have a stronger box. That crate's too flimsy.
Well, it's stronger than it looks. And that wire screen on top would hold a wildcat. But anyway, I bought a heavy sea chest this morning. I will put the crate inside of it.
Sounds all right. You got a lock on it?
Heavy padlock. It's fixed so that the lid can be propped open a crack without unlocking it. The snake's got to have air.
But in dirty weather, that lid stays shut. I'll take no chances.
Fair enough.
I will keep the thing in my inside cabin where I sleep. I can't have it in the baggage room. And nobody on board's to know about it.
Whatever you say, Captain. But we won't have any trouble. After all, it's only an animal. It doesn't have any magical powers.
I saw a Bushmaster in the zoo at Caracas once. Had it in a glass cage with double walls. It'd never move. Just lay there. Look at you as long as you were in sight. Gave a man the creeps.
I didn't know they had a Bushmaster at the Caracas Zoo.
They don't. Now. Found the glass broken one morning and the snake gone. Night watchman was dead. They never found out what happened.
Well, the watchman must have broken the glass by accident some way.
The way they figured it, the glass was broken from the inside. Well, we sail in 4 hours.
We steamed north into the Caribbean with perfect weather and a sea as smooth as an inland lake. The barometer dropped a little on the third day, but cleared up overnight and left nothing worse than a heavy swell. But in spite of the calm seas and the pleasant weather, I found myself feeling more and more often an ominous foreboding. I was developing an almost unnatural fear of that snake. Well, I stayed clear of the passengers pretty much. Got the habit of dropping into Captain Wood's quarters several times a day. He kept the heavy box underneath his berth. I'd approach it quietly and shine my flashlight through the open crack. Never once could I catch that 12-foot devil asleep, or even excited. He'd be lying there, half-coiled, his head raised a little, staring out of those beady black eyes, waiting. He'd still be like that when I'd turn away to leave. Maybe that's what bothered me, that horrible and constant watchful waiting. What in the name of heaven was he waiting for?
Well, hello there, Mr. Warner.
Oh, how are you, Mother Willis?
Aye, but you and the captain spend an awful lot of time around this cabin. I'm beginning to think the two of you must have some guilty secret.
Oh, no, nothing like that, Mother Willis. I don't know about Captain Wood, but I certainly don't have any guilty secret. Well, she's running quite a swell out there, Mr. Bowman.
Yeah, it's a little heavy, all right, Mr. Warner. Guess a storm passed through to the west of us yesterday when the glass dropped.
Think it missed us then, huh?
Yeah, that's what the mate figures. Sure stirred up some water, though.
This'll put half the passengers in their bunks.
Makes it great for my department. 2/3 of them will want a steward to hold their heads.
They'll keep Mother Willis so busy she'll have... Wait, look at the size of that wave.
Huh? Great Jehoshaphat! We're going to take it on the port bow! Hang on!
Well, that was a freak if there ever was one. Not another wave in sight.
You see them like that sometimes, even in a calm sea. Well, I got to get below, Mr. Warner. That water probably did some damage on the officer's deck.
Yeah, I suppose it... What did you say?
The wheel companionway was open on the port side. Bridge cabins must have taken a pretty bad smashing up. They're right below the, Here, is something wrong, Mr. Warner?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Bowman. At least I hope not. I looked first for Captain Wood and couldn't find him. Of course, I knew it was only one chance in 1,000, but the chances against that freak wave were 1 in 1,000, too. Well, I couldn't waste any more time, so I stumbled down the companionway and along the passage to the captain's cabin.
Oh, come on in, Mr. Warner.
Mother Willis.
Why, isn't this cabin a mess? Trying to get some of these things out to dry.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to check. Where's that box that was under the captain's bunk?
Threw it out on that.
But where? We didn't know. It was nearly dark when we met together again in the chart room.
I don't get the thing at all. There's no other way around it. We've risked all the time we can. We've got to warn the passengers.
Well, how we do it, Captain? Call them all together in the lounge?
No, if we did anything like that, we'd be asking for a panic.
We'll get one, whether we ask for it or not.
Pick a few men and go through the cabin decks. Tell them individually, inside their cabins. Watch for any act that looks as though it might cause trouble. And we'll keep an eye on them. Handle the crew the same way.
Right,
all right, Captain.
okay.
We'll take care.
As soon as you've finished, arm all the deck officers and start searching again. Our only chance of preventing a riot is to find that damnable snake.
The slow nightmare that followed grew worse by the hour. None of us slept. All the ship's officers not on duty kept on with that endless search. Passengers locked themselves in their cabins or huddled together in the lounges, knowing all the time that no spot on board could be called safe. Fear was a heavy fog in the lungs of all of us, and every light on the vessel burned throughout the night. Morning came and brought no relief. Terror and tension mounted by the hour.
There now, Mrs. Crane, stop getting yourself all worked up and go back to your cabin. The horrid thing's probably crawled overboard anyway.
You're just saying that. You're paid to say it. You don't know. Nobody does.
Now, everything's going to be all right.
Oh, if you could only do something. If all of us could only get off the ship. They could fumigate it. Yes, That's what we've got to do. We've got to get off the ship.
Now, wait. Mr. Bowman. Mr. Bowman, she's going to jump.
No, you don't, lady.
Let me go. Let me go.
Nice work.
Let me go.
Nice work, Mr. Bowman. Get her down to a cabin. Whatever you do, don't turn her loose.
Well, you never know when it might strike you. You can't put on a coat or move a chair without risking your life. Now, something's got to be done. It might be right here in this lounge.
All right, Miss Steve. You better quiet down. Take it easy.
Take it easy, huh? Well, you're a great officer. Why don't you do something about it? That thing might be crawling around here right under our feet somewhere.
Like I said, shut up. Are you trying to start a panic?
I got a right to talk. I don't want to die. Nobody's going to tell
Okay.
me. The second night passed, and morning came around again. A gray and rainy day, just as grim and tense, dragged past, and the night came down again. Third night of the terror. Again, every light burned, and the whole ship seethed in the throes of incipient panic. Faced by a horror they'd never met on the sea before, crew and officers alike were on the verge of revolt. Passengers sat huddled in a trance-like stupor, ready to scream at the slightest unknown sound. At 7 bells, I made my way forward to the chart room and found Captain Wood bent over a desk.
Hello, Christopher. Come on in. Sit down.
Well, it's got to be somewhere, Captain Wood. It's got to be.
I don't know. You could search this ship for 6 months and never touch all the places aboard. We can only hold out for 2 more days. We'll be in.
What's the Home Office say?
Oh, here's the latest wireless from them. Keep quiet and keep coming. What else can we do? How is it on the decks?
Pretty bad. Anything could happen.
Yeah, that's why I took the guns away from the men. One pistol shot and we'd have a riot on our hands.
Oh, the whole thing's my fault, Captain Wood. That's what I can't forget.
Oh, take it easy, lad.
There was only some way I could pay for it myself, alone.
No, I know how you feel, but it's no more your fault than mine or the man who asked you to bring the snake back alive. Nobody planned this. You'd better try and get a little sleep.
Sleep?
Mr. Bowman made some coffee down the steward's galley a while ago. You better go down and get yourself a cup, and then rest up for a couple of hours.
Rest? I can't rest.
Christopher, it's no good going. What are you going to do? You can't help anything if you stumble through a hatch half asleep and break your neck. Go on and get some coffee. One way or another, we've got to hold out for 2 more days.
The light was on in the steward's galley, and the coffee pot was standing on the stove. It was still warm, so I didn't bother to heat it. I poured out a cup, carried it over, and set it on the porcelain tabletop in the center of the room. I started to light a cigarette. The door of the pan cupboard beneath the sink was standing slightly ajar, and I happened to glance down toward it. Out from the dark interior of the cupboard shone 2 glittering points of light 2 inches apart. I dropped the cigarette and moved slowly backward. I'd found the Bushmaster. As I moved, the snake slid out of the cupboard in a single sinuous glide and drew back into a loose coil on the galley floor, never taking his eyes off me. I moved slowly back, waiting any moment for that deadly slithering strike. How had he known it was me? He'd stayed quiet when Bowman was here. How did he know to pick the first time in 3 days when I didn't have a gun? Well, my hands touched the wall behind me and I stopped. Only then I realized in terror what I'd done. The call button and the door were on the far side of the room. I'd backed into a dead end. I stared at the snake in fascination, expecting any moment the ripping slash of those poison fangs. The horrid coils tightened a little, and then were still again. 10 million years of evolution to produce this moment. Homo sapiens versus Lachesis muta. Man against mute fate, and all the odds were on fate. I knew then that I was going to die. I could feel the sweat run down between the painted wall and the palms of my hands pressed against it. My skin crawled and twitched, and the pit of my stomach was as cold as ice. There was no sound but the rush of blood in my ears. The snake shifted again, drawing into a tighter coil, always tighter. Why the devil didn't he get it over with? And then, for just an instant, his head veered away. Something moved over by the stove. I didn't dare turn to look at it. Slowly, it moved out into my line of vision. There was a cat. That scrawny cat Clara that Mother Willis had sneaked aboard in La Guaira. Its back was arched and every hair stood on end. It moved stiff-legged now, walking in a half circle around the snake. The bushmaster shifted slowly and kept watching the cat. He tightened. He was going to strike at any second. He struck and missed. The cat was barely out of reach. Now she was walking back and forth again. She was asking to die. Missed again, by a fraction of an inch. He was striking now without even going to a full coil. Missed. Again and again. Always missing by the barest margin. Each time the cat danced barely out of reach, and each time she countered with one precise spat of a dainty paw, bracing her skinny frame on 3 stiff legs. And then suddenly I realized what she was doing. The bushmaster was tiring, and one strike was just an instant slow. But in that split second, sharp claws raked across the evil head and ripped out both of the lidless eyes. That cat had deliberately blinded the snake. Well, he didn't bother to coil now, but slid after her in a fury, striking wildly and rapidly, always missing, and every strike was a little slower than the last one. Until finally, as the snake's neck stretched out at the end of a strike, the cat made one leap and sank her razor-sharp teeth just back of the ugly head, sank them in until they crunched bone. With tooth and claw she clung as the monstrous snake flailed and lashed on the floor, striving to get those hideous coils around her, trying to break her hold, to shake off the slow and certain paralyzing death that gradually crept over him and at last stilled his struggles forever. I took a deep breath. The first in minutes. The cat lay on her side on the floor, panting, resting from the fight just over. And she had a right to rest. That mangy, brave, beautiful alley cat had just saved my life. And maybe others as well. But as I turned toward the stove, I suddenly became very humble. And I knew all at once what a small thing a human being really is. I and others aboard were still alive only by the merest accident. There were 3 reasons why that cat had fought and killed the world's deadliest snake. And those 3 reasons came tottering out from under the stove on shaky little legs. 3 kittens with their eyes bright with wonder and their tails stiff as pokers. Up on the decks, hundreds of passengers were waiting for the news that the days and nights of terror were ended. Well, I could wait a little longer. I pulled open the doors of the cabinet, found a can of milk, and then I dropped down on my knees on the floor of the galley.
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson, and tonight brought you A Shipment of Mute Fate by Martin Storm, adapted for radio by Les Crutchfield, with Jack Webb as Chris Warner, Raymond Lawrence as Captain Wood, and D.J. Thompson as Mother Willis. The special musical score was conceived and conducted by Cy Fure. Next week,
At this same time, when you're tired from a hard day at the office, or leaning over a hot stove all day, when you want to get away from it all, CBS again offers you Escape.
good night then until this same time next week when CBS again brings you Escape. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Fuck it. What's going on? Hello? Good morning, weirdos, you bunch of freaks. So, hey, Joey, you're going to sleep already? My gosh. Because you were up all night playing games with my daughter, right? You guys in your Fortnite. When I was younger, we used to play Toot Night. But, 3 night, Fortnite, 5 night. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So, yeah. Did she kick your ass playing Fortnite, or did you guys kick other asses together? Oh, that's right, you're going to sleep. Good night, son. Have a good night. Good day, night, whatever. It's Friday. You know what that means? That means that it's Friday. I don't know what it means. Is it supposed to mean something? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Is it supposed to mean something? For some people, it's the end of the week. For others, it's the beginning of the weekend. For some, it's both. Me, yeah, whatever. That's all I'm saying is just whatever. Whatever. I actually think I'm getting better sleep using that, white noise machine. I'm getting to sleep a lot quicker when I wake up. I'm going to bed I'm going to sleep a lot quicker when I lay down. Yeah, I think it's helping. I got about another week, a week from Monday, taking care of business, and I'll be gone. Another Eeyore cup. Another Eeyore cup. Let's see my Eeyore. Eeyore. Oh, bother. So let's see what's going on here at the old household, the old homestead. I uploaded a bunch of stuff yesterday for the week of February 10th. I'm halfway uploaded. Over halfway. I've got 3 escapes and 5 ed films. That's it. Tonight, I'll be making a weekly program guide for next week and uploading it. Because that's what I gotta do. I didn't do the light in my room yesterday because I just didn't care. I was tired. At about 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I went and laid down. and I was down until about 4:30 or 5. I got up, and my wife had made split pea soup, and it was delicious. I had family with the girls, and my wife took soup to the neighbors. Totally cool. Well, I was just in a daze here. One of the owners of one of the houses two of the houses that we work on came to town yesterday to move some stuff, and I sent the maintenance guy here over to help move the stuff. Unfortunately, they couldn't move all of the heavy stuff out of the garage because they neglected to grab my dolly out of the other garage. I've got an appliance dolly that's made just for lifting heavy appliances up into the back of a truck, right? Which is exactly why I bought it. And it didn't even dawn on me that they wouldn't grab it and use it, and they couldn't lift. And it was just like, oh my gosh. Had I known, I would have just said, hey, grab that dolly, strap that thing on. One of you get on the truck, pull. One of you get outside of the truck and push. And that's it. That's how we get some big, heavy shit into a pickup. But nope, didn't happen. Bummer. Bumski. Okay, I'm putting my coffee on the tray. Keeping it hot. Keeping it hot, hot, hot. Well, crapple. I guess it's time to wake up and get loaded. I love the smell of marijuana. I've always loved the smell of marijuana. Not all marijuana, but most marijuana. There are some that I've smelled that I'm like, this smells like dirt. Smokes like dirt. Tastes like dirt. Looks like dirt. Are you sure it ain't dirt? Fucking dirt weed. I've had some horrible dirt weed before, right, Craig? That was some nasty shit, man. I drove 2 hours to get an ounce of dirt weed once back, oh man, 15 years ago, right? And that ounce of dirt weed that I bought, overpriced, caused me to go get my medical marijuana card, so that I could just go to local places and get it. And what a huge difference in night and day, well, pardon me, in the kind of, the quality of marijuana. I mean, the quality was literally night and day. That's all I can say. The quality of the marijuana that I went from to the quality of marijuana that I went to was just, it was crazy. I never went back. Once I got my medical marijuana card, I never got marijuana from any other source other than a grower or a dispensary. I never again went to a middleman to get marijuana, a drug dealer, basically. An illegal drug dealer, which many of my friends growing up were illegal drug dealers, including my parents. But everything changed. Everything changed. And then everything went legal, and I was no longer required to get an annual marijuana card, a medical marijuana card. Now I just buy the shit recreational. Sure, I gotta pay taxes, but I don't have to go get that fucking $60 card every year, which pretty much takes care of the taxes, right? And besides, the taxes are what allow it to be legal. I'm fine with paying taxes. I've always been fine with paying taxes, as long as the tax money goes to the right places. What the problem is, you're just helping pay the way for whatever it is you're paying the way for. Totally. Yeah. How'd you like that Escape episode this morning, huh? Homo sapien against Lachesamutus, mute fate, the Bushmaster. Now, for years, I thought a Bushmaster was a rifle before I found out it was an actual snake, too, that the rifle was made after the snake. Not into guns, so I don't know. Not into snakes either. But then again, I've only known Bushmaster, the term, for only a couple of decades. Oh, yeah. I'm going to stop planning and start doing. I'm going to write schedules. And then just stick to a schedule. I got to get out today. I got to get out, get some calendars. Get a thing printed out. Do a bunch of whole bunch of crap. Gotta go by Walgreens today. I believe we got a house to clean and 2 houses to clean tomorrow and 3 houses to clean the next day. And I don't know what's on Monday, but tomorrow we're going to a show. So I am going to be all about sleeping in, possibly taking a nap. I might actually take a nap in the van after we get out there. My whole plan is just to, aside from seeing a wonderful concert, my whole plan is to meet up with Big Sandy for at least just a couple of minutes. Not a big... I don't want to steal his life from him. I just want to, hi, how are you thing. And get an autograph, get a picture, that kind of thing. That's it. Oh, introduce him to my wife and daughter. Yeah. Offer him some lunch. I don't know. We're going to be out there a little while, so hopefully we'll get to do something. Oh, I don't even know if the tickets are any good. I mean, if the tickets are sold out or what. Yeah. You remember when Cameron Diaz was hot? Right? She was just hot, cool chick to hang out with. Where is she? Whatever happened to her? She was doing that stupid bad teacher thing the last time I saw her, skinny legs. Yeah. First movie she was in that was big time. Anybody? I'll tell you. Mask. Jim Carrey. That's when we first saw her. I remember first seeing her in that movie and going, wow. You want to talk smoking? Man. She had that look that I was into. Skinny little blonde broads with green eyes and blue eyes. And I don't know. She also reminded me of somebody that I had been with. It's not always the case, You find this girl when you're young and you go out with her once or something, or you don't get to go out with her, and then from then on, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that girl, right? And you never find it. You just go, keep destroying yourself, breaking your heart, And then you realize that you were chasing an image that you had been programmed for. Yeah. I got running out of there. Yeah, it was when I stopped thinking about a relationship that I found my final relationship, right? That's the way it works. Totally. I kept bragging to my wife all day yesterday about how I was able to have my cup of coffee and never put it in the microwave. I put it in the microwave when I first mixed it up to reheat it from the creamer, and that was it. And I was like, look, honey, the last sip of coffee, and I don't have to put it in the microwave, and it's not ice cold. And she's like, all right, Chihuahua. What did I do? Saved me a whole lot of trips. I think, yeah. I think the next thing is the doggy doors, and then I'm done. I don't have to get up and down. That's it. That's all, baby. Yeah, I might be moving this whole stack of videos and TV and VCR over to here. It might be good here so that I can have that TV in front of me and be watching it while I'm doing my stuff here, not have it over my shoulder. Also, I'm going to be putting a TV on this wall here so that the camera that's going into this TV is going to be going into this big TV on the wall here, so that when I'm sitting here and a camera is looking at me this way, I've got a TV over my shoulder, so that the close-up will be on the TV. So you'll be looking at me working on what I'm working on, and then behind me is a close-up of what I'm working on, and then another TV will have my face on it, so you'll have a close-up, right? And I'll just have all of my camera angles on monitors behind me. And I talked this out with my daughter, and she says, yeah, that's the way to go. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to try to figure out that for the next season. That way I can just mount cameras permanently on the opposite walls, not have to deal with tripods or moving cameras around. Right now I set up a camera every morning. This camera right here, I put it on a tripod every morning in my living room so that it gives me this angle. I'm going to put one camera in a corner, one camera on a wall, and another camera in a corner. And then that way I get my three angles, and then I'll have a camera up here looking down over my shoulder onto what I'm doing. This camera here, up here, this one is going to become my close-up cam. It'll be neat. It'll be fun. Totally awesome. So then I'll have a perfect straight-on shot of this room. And where this thing is, I'll probably just try to find another shelf, another bookshelf type thing, so that I can get more of my crap into here. I'd like to have my manuals for the repair manuals for a lot of these machines behind me in this room here. Because this is going to be it. I'm going to get a small folding table, not one of the big long ones, but one of the short half-size ones. They're a little more expensive right now, so I'm waiting for the price to come down. And it'll be just enough room for me to drape something over or put a solid board on, and that might be the deal, is to get a nice tabletop on that, so that I've got a hard place to work, a work surface. And then I need to get some tubs with tops with lids, some small tubs with lids about the size of electronic appliances, 8-track players and cassette players and that kind of stuff. So I need a small that can hold the entire thing, and then I need cupcake tins the ones with like 12 little cupcakes, right? The minis are perfect because I use those to organize screws, right? You put a bunch of those screws, in each little cupcake holder. Also, I need a large magnet. I need to dig around and see if I could find up one of my old large magnets, because that you can attach a few big fat magnets to the metal cupcake pan, and then it kind of keeps the screws in there. It keeps the screws from escaping, keeps them attached to the metal. So there's a couple of things I need to get, and then I need to put together a little tool kit. I've got a screwdriver set, and I just need to put together my box of repair tools. A lot of little intricate little things. My DeWalt light for pointing into machines. A lot of little knickknacks, and then I need to make sure that I've got plenty of splice tape and pads and stuff for fixing 8-track tapes. I've got it up here. Some deoxit. I need to get some more deoxit for working on machines to spray out the corrosion and stuff on those old players and stuff. Make sure that I have the right oil for these old machines, and get everything set up in a little workbox, a little handle with pockets on each side that contain all of the stuff I need for like, here's all of my solvents and cleaning stuff and repair stuff. Here's my toolbox with all of the pads and splice stuff, and here's my magic eraser pile, and here's my actual tools, and here's a few DeWalt items that I need. And then just get into doing my thing, and just have it on my calendar. Today is the day that I work on some kind of machine, whatever machine is in the line, right? And then there's the next day. The next day is I'm going to work on trying to figure out this song, and I'll just be here live trying to figure out a song on a guitar, on a piano, ukulele, whatever it is I'm trying to do. And I'm just going to take y'all along with me on my crazy ride, because it is a crazy ride. My life gets really, really weird really quick. All of a sudden I got nothing going on, and then everything is going on. So yeah, man, we're gonna do it, man. And then that way every day is something a little different. We're gonna do this for a little, and then we're gonna get into doing something different. The next day we'll come back, we'll do this a little bit, and then we'll get into something a little different. And then some days it'll just be right after the show I do something a little different here. Some days it'll just be my little show, and then I come back later in the day and do that something a little different. So each day there should be at least 2 to 3 live shows going on. The morning show is going to be a double-pronged show. It's going to be this, and then it's going to be that, and it's going to be kind of a segue program. And then throughout the day, all week long, I'm just going to keep trying to bring in different stuff. Just try to keep going different. I kind of remember, I now remember, that movie that we watched, my wife and I watched the day before yesterday. We just sat out here and hung out and watched a movie, and it was called The Sentinel, and it had a whole bunch of weird, it even had Burgess Meredith in it. It had a lot of naked people in it. It was really, really weird. In fact, now I'm just remembering where I saw that old guy from. That old guy that played the maintenance lawn mowing guy on Bad News Bears breaking training. The guy, the old kind of not altogether guy, the old guy that they talked into pretending to be their coach for the drop-off of the kids by the parents. And they needed a fake coach. And that guy was in the movie. And he was, just about every scene he was in, he was naked, running around. Even when he was dead, he was running around naked. It was a really, really, really bizarre horror movie. But it was more of a psychological horror movie. It's really heavy. I think a young Martin Sheen was in it. Just a shitload of people. But I saw Burgess Meredith in it, and he was like a warlock dude. And I'm like, wow, go Burgess. The Burge. That dude is awesome. I'll watch anything with Burgess Meredith in it because the guy was just an amazing actor. Amazing. Burgess Meredith. No. But there was time. Now. You remember him from The Twilight Zone, the old guy who survived the nuclear holocaust to finally have the freedom and the time to read all the books that he wanted, only to break his glasses and go blind. Right? No. But yeah, Burgess Meredith. I believe he did a couple of Twilight Zones, but that was my favorite. And he did some great movies, great TV stuff. He did a great movie with Goldie Hawn, Foul Play. That was a great one where he played the neighbor. Had a big, giant boa constrictor snake, and was into karate and stuff. An old dude running around going, hi-ya! He was a great guy. Oh, man. I'll have to dig up some Burgess Meredith stuff to watch. It's good stuff. I don't know what we're doing today. I try not to pay attention. I asked about this weekend because we got stuff going on over the weekend. But I don't know what's going on today. I think we got like a house to clean. And then if my wife has nothing going on after that or before that, we might get together and work on that ceiling light. Once it's started, it's as good as done. It's only going to take like less than 2 hours to put it up and to do it. I mean, I literally have to just screw the mounting bracket onto the ceiling, hang the light there, run the wire through the track, and stick the track to the ceiling, run a little short track down, and then stick the wire into the wall, run the wire down to a hole where I pull it out and run it into a box, run another wire down to the outlet to give me power, right? Wire up the switch, install the box into the wall because it's a retro box, and then install the switch, cover it up, turn the breaker on, and that's it. I mean, it's like, it may take less than an hour. It's just getting started with it is the bummer. I know, because as soon as I start, I have to start looking up. And looking up is one of the worst things I can do to my neck. So I'm always looking down, man. I'm always looking down. Look up. No, it hurts. So I gotta look up. That's the only bummer. We're gonna do it. It'll be right over our bed, which means my wife can stand up on the bed and do a lot of this work, which is great. This is fantastic. This is so fantastic. So we'll probably do that between this morning and after work. We'll try to get her done. And because of my stupid body always crapping out on me and everything making me hurt, right? Even getting up and heating up my coffee and dealing with dogs. So it's nice that I can say, honey, can you grab this for me? Honey, can you grab this for me? Honey, can you grab this for me? And she does, without fail. And she literally becomes my right hand, because if I had to use both hands, I'm like done. That's it. I don't want to do this anymore. I get there so many times a day where I'm just like, I can't do this anymore, it hurts. And then I just get depressed and I go sit down. And then I get so depressed that I just go lay in bed. You know? And a lot of the sleeping issues that I have are depression related. Ain't that a bummer? Yeah. It is. It's a bummer. But it's also pain related. My sleeping is regulated by pain and depression, illness. Yeah, baby. It's hot. It's still hot. It is still hot. I'm waiting for at least halfway through my show before I eat something so that I can make it to the end of the show without being in that whole starvation situation. I was hoping to get some of this music video stuff worked on this week. Maybe next week. I got one more week until I go incognito for like 3 weeks. It's not a long time, but when you're trying to work on a project, it is. And when you're trying to work on a project and you don't get a lot of time to work with the project person, yeah, you want at least 1 or 2 good days. That's it. That's all I want. We've had one good day. I need another really good day of at least finding out that I have, that you've given me all of the elements that I need to do it, or you've given me enough elements. Now I need 3 more shots or something. You know, let's plan another couple of hours to get together and do these last couple of shots so that I've got what I need to create a music video. Because I can't just jump into it and then hit a wall because I don't have enough to work with, right? And right now I've taken a bunch of 15 minutes worth of shit that we shot and turned it into like 20 seconds worth of stuff. So I need to be able to get more stuff. Granted, I only need about 2.5 minutes worth of stuff to make a music video, this one, but I need stuff. And I need a lot of stuff because some of it's rapid fire video and photos and effects and stuff. Yeah. But anyways, orale, anyways. Oh, my spine. Oh. You know what prompted me? Or prompted my wife to tell me that she thinks I need to go see the doctor finally, right? It wasn't all of the other things, the pains and the woes and the oh my God, what is this kind of shit that has happened. That's not what has prompted her to tell me that I need to see a doctor. I'm lying in bed with her a couple of nights ago, and I get into bed and I sit down and I'm like, oh, my fucking tailbone is killing me. I think I'm growing a tail, honey. And she looks at me and says, you need to go see a doctor. I'm growing a tail, honey. That's what gets it. And I know exactly what's going on with my tailbone. I spend way too much time sitting in this chair or sitting down at all. The chair isn't all that perfect. And I got no ass. I'm old. I got an old man's ass, right? Most people, when their profile has some kind of curve to it, right? And when you get to a certain age, your profile is nil. You got more of a bulge up front than you do behind you. And whether it's your gult or your gut or your package, up front tends to get more notice than the back. And I'm at that where I don't really have a gut and I don't have a butt. They call him Texas Slim. Yeah, more like Virginia Slim, a cigarette. I know I put on a movie yesterday. I don't remember what it was. It takes me a couple of days to remember what it was that I watched. Last night I was watching another Planet of the Apes. The Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. It's the 90s. It's 20 years after Cornelius and Zira have escaped the past. Planet of the Apes watched it explode and went to the past to 1978. Hooked up with Ricardo Montalban and gave them their child, and then they were murdered. And then the child grew up living in a circus with Ricardo Montalban, so that in the sequel, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, he then has to pretend he's a slave, because apes have now become slaves because all of the dogs and cats have died, and which was the original premise. And now he is able to lead the rebellion of the apes against humanity. And yeah, I love the fact that after his obligations during the filming, other obligations during the filming of the sequel to Planet of the Apes, he actually came back for the third, fourth, fifth, and then the series, and then he became the face of the Planet of the Apes, whether he was in mask or not, right? For the first film, Charlton Heston was the face of the film The Planet of the Apes. And then after that, it was just ape faces were the face of Planet of the Apes. But by the third, fourth film, Roddy McDowall's voice and his face, his image, because you knew that was Roddy McDowall behind there. You knew that he was wearing that makeup. You recognized his voice as soon as he started talking. Yeah, Roddy McDowall, one of my favorite child actors to grow up and succeed in Hollywood. I believe he stayed single. And lived alone in Malibu for like forever until he passed away. In the 90s, I think, is when he passed away. Or maybe the early 2000s. I don't recall. Yeah, don't tell me he's still alive, because that would totally freak out my parallel existence. I'm telling you, that happens all the time. I'll be thinking about somebody and talking about them and the last movie they did, and then I'll see a movie trailer of something they're doing now, and I'm like, wait a second. What happened to the timeline that I was on? Yeah. I don't know, it's probably been the last 24, 25 years or so, right after I got married, that I've felt since then, or early on in my life, I've always felt like, what's this? Why is this different? What's going on? You know. But it really got bad after I got married. After 2001, it really got bad time for me. I don't know about anybody else, but everything just started to seem wrong, right? Like this shouldn't be happening. This should be like this. Why do I remember this differently? Kind of a thing. I think phones have really helped maintain the timeline they want versus reality, because digitally you can control everyone. I mean, and if you put the right combination of electronic components, computer components, other components together in a micro package, you could put a mini time machine inside of everyone's telephone. Everyone's smartphone can hold a mini time machine, right? So that you are constantly assisted back into the proper timeline. Or at least it helps you to maintain integrity in your timeline, whatever timeline they bounce you into, right? And I think that's what's going on. I think I'm being bounced around time and space, man. Some people aren't. Some people are, and they don't know it. They don't even realize it. They don't notice it. They don't feel any discontinuity. Other people's are just constantly harassed by time and space, and they don't know what the fuck's going on ever. And every time they look around, something seems different and off. You know, how come that label is different? It used to look a different way. You know, and now all of a sudden, it's the same but different. Yeah. Jif and Jiffy and Campbell's and Campbell's. Nah, it's just weird. It's just weird shit, man. Other people are going, what is he talking about? Nothing's different. It's always been like that. Exactly. Until it wasn't. And then when it wasn't, nobody notices. Yeah. I'll just. And then the people who do notice things, very few compared, right? Everybody else just looks just like your kook. You're just a kook. You're just a kook. Here comes that kook again. He thinks things are all different. Watch out. Yep. I can totally dig it, man. Yeah, taking a break from all of this is going to be really good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break from the channel altogether. And then 1 week a month, after about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to spend a week making videos to catch up to where I need to be. And then I'm going to pump out videos onto the channel for about a month's worth of programming. And what I'm going to try to do is a month, probably 5 weeks, so that I give myself that extra week that I'm working in. So creating videos, uploading videos, creating videos, uploading videos, and do that for about a week, devote all of my time for 1 week to that, and then take 3 weeks and work on a shitload of projects and get a shitload of stuff done. You know, stuff for the channel, stuff around the house, personal stuff. The first 3 weeks off is going to be just recovering and trying to heal so that I can get into dentures. I don't expect to deal with much pain, a little discomfort and displeasure at first. Let me go deal with the dog. I'll be right back. Yeah. So anyways, but even while I'm off this first 3 weeks, I plan to get a bunch done. I'm hoping that I can get the music video done. If I can just get with him this week at least once and get what he's got and get the music on a file, because I can't use it from where it's at now on YouTube. I just can't. I don't have the technology, so I need the song, and I need whatever video and photos that he has, and then I need to go through and see what else I need. Go through everything and then start taking everything that's there and turning each video into a usable element, right? Get a file of usable elements and then start some kind of a structure with the video. As soon as I see all of the elements in front of me, I'm going to have that aha moment and know exactly what it's supposed to look like in the end. And then figure out what we need to do to finish it off. What other elements do we need? It's, yeah. So that, I'll probably work on the next series of shows to segue from this morning program. I'm going to have to get the calendar is really important, real integral to my whole plan, because the studio time has to work around my daughter time and my wife time and my work time. So all of that has to flow. So that being said, I may lose some mornings. I may lose some evenings. I may be shifting around and doing stuff in the car while my daughter is in class. Now, I've always wanted to do a book club, right? Like a book a month club. And I think if I work it right, I might be able to do a book a week or a book a month or something like that, and have a show where it's like, okay, last week we talked about this book, and we said now we're going to read this book, and now this week we've finished that book, and let's talk about it. And then at the end of the show, it's like, okay, here's your next book that we're going to read that book, and we'll talk about it. And then I'll give information on where you can find the book. Usually at your public library is the best place to find it, and just get an audio version. I'm going to have to look into that audio version type stuff so that I can do the book and do other stuff at the same time. Do the book while I'm in the car. Do the book while I'm here working on stuff and don't need any sound from what I'm working on, right? So there's movies, TV, radio, books, music. This should take care of every day of the week. And we should be able to discuss each of these things every day of the week on a theme day, either after the morning show, segued from the morning show right into it, and it'll just be, here's the show, the pre-show is the morning show, right? But here's the show. I hate to do two streams, but then again, I might, another one of my big deals for the first 3 weeks is to learn more about what I'm using here. And maybe I'll find out that it's easier for me to set up my shows and then just go to my show, click stream, and boom, I'm live. Rather than have to load up a new live stream every day, have them already set and waiting. because I've got a few set now. I don't know how or why or what, you know. I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, it's the themed shows. You know, movies, television, radio, music, and books. Those are my 5 themed shows right there. Okay? Sometimes when we're talking about music, we're going to actually have 8 tracks and albums and that kind of stuff. Same thing with the movies, same thing with the TV. We're going to have props and videos and things. I get really pumped up here talking about it and everything, and then I leave from all of this, and within a couple of hours of ending this, I'm back into the real world, and I got all kinds of other crap going on, and then I got to fight to get back to here to get something else rolling, right? It's been difficult lately just to get done with Monday stuff and get back here by 4:30 so I can get my shit together to be live at 5 for Minecrafting. So I really need to have a tight schedule that accommodates middle of the day activities that take me away from here, right? Are my daughter's classes going to be early classes? Are they going to be mid-morning classes, afternoon classes, evening classes, a combination? Where does my day end here and begin with her there? Yeah, I mean, at some point, because my van is big and my wife doesn't like to drive it, and even when we get it running perfect, it's still a 5.9 Magnum and uses a lot of gas going back and forth, right? Now, we may get to a point to where my wife and daughter get together and buy another car for my daughter, and then I just use that to take her back and forth until she starts driving full-time. Because if we get her a car and I'm using it to take her back and forth to work, at some point she's going to be doing some of the driving and getting practice in. And then as soon as we feel like she's got enough practice, we're going to get her that test, get her license, and then she can drive a little bit more, and not push it. You know, it'd be nice if she felt comfortable enough driving around town and doing things in her own car, right? So no rush, no pushing, because she has really devoted all of herself to her academia, and that has always kind of been more important than peripheral stuff, and driving is peripheral stuff, especially when mom and dad are saying, yeah, no problem, we'll take you. Or she's got friends that are doing the same thing, so she doesn't need, you know, a ride. But damn it, we may have to get another car. I think we're going to get another hybrid, actually. Something small and good on gas. Something cute. We might get my wife a car, and my daughter likes this car that my wife has. So she might just take that one. Buy it for my wife or something. I mean, we got a great price on that hybrid from friends, and it was in excellent condition. It's still in excellent condition because mom takes care of it. So we're going to keep it in the family. But we may need to get another. Now, if we get another hybrid like this one, even the same exact thing, we're going to wind up paying at least twice as much, right? And even more if we want something newer and in really good, like pre-owned, certified condition. Because it's got to be something reliable if the girls are going to be driving it full time. I can drive a clunker that breaks down because I can just pull out tools and fucking go to work. But I can't drive a new car and do that. It's got to be something like 90s or older. Totally. Oh, I used to. I used to be able to work on just about anything older. Now I can't even fucking drive a car most of the time. Or I can, but it hurts like hell. Right? Totally. So yeah, it's still dressed up for Christmas in here, Vienna. And I told my wife, let's just leave it in here for the last week of my stuff here. Because I like it. It's pretty. It's fun. She said, isn't it going to get hot? It's been on for 3 days already. And I said, honey, first of all, it's a plastic tree. It's a fireproof plastic tree. And have you touched one of the bulbs? They're not hot. I mean, I just grabbed a bulb and went, I don't feel anything. I mean, I got tough hands, but they're not hot. They're cold bulbs. So, and they're tiny little things. It's not a huge drain on the electricity. I like walking in to the house in the middle of the night and seeing the tree on. It's pretty. And it only happens, a month or less out of the year. Why not? I was just thinking the other day, how am I going to fit some kind of colored lights in here? I'm going to dig up one of those colored light Christmas trees that I bought from a waitress that I worked with forever ago, like 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago. Gosh, no, I'm going to say a little over 20 years ago. But I want to figure out how to get some unusual lighting in here, in this little studio nook, while it's going to last. It may not last. I may have to rework my show back into the living room, because the nook that I'm in right now, it was originally the little tiny dining room for this mobile home. The wall that I'm facing is the opposite wall of the kitchen, where the stove and countertop is. And both of these rooms, the kitchen and this dining room here, are going to get gutted. I'm going to strip the paneling off of the walls, redo the electricity, and then cover the walls back up with 3/8 inch plywood, so that when I put cabinets in here into this mobile home with not great framing, I'll have a place to hang cabinets and mount cabinets and stuff. But I need to do a whole lot of work before I can even get into cabinets. And that's in the area that I'm in now. This wall right here is going to, right where I'm sitting right here, is going to be a sink. Right? And then to the left of the sink is going to be counter and an oven, stove, and microwave, and cabinets all around. The wall behind me is going to be a countertop cabinet area with a refrigerator. So I need to come up with, probably halfway through the season, if I'm still alive, I'm going to be doing something different again. So this next season coming up will probably last as long as this area lasts, and then I'll stop, take a week or two off, retool, move everything around, and then start in here, and probably use my sofa and the table behind the sofa, or some kind of setup where I can kind of do something similar to what I'm going to be doing this coming season. It is what it is. I'm doing this stuff out of my house. If I could afford to, I would build a 10 by 12 building in my yard, and I would turn it into a live studio / music and video studio, and have all of my computer stuff in there, all of my video equipment, all of my everything that I need to do what I'm doing here. You know, all of my music stuff, books, tapes, wall-to-wall stuff, so that I can turn a camera on and have a wall of music behind me, right? Floor to ceiling, and then, you know, all three walls in a horseshoe shape, completely covered in music and musical instruments and music and video stuff, and that would be cool, you know. Do halfway up to shelves and have a countertop all the way around, and then have a hodgepodge of photos and movie paraphernalia and stuff, and just everything on the walls and the shelves, kind of like what it is in here, right? Only more of like a library, you know, museum. I feel like a curator. I do. I feel like I sit and I curate movies and tapes and artifacts and old things. I'm not real good at it, but I'm getting better. I need to get back into cataloging stuff. And the whole idea of, I just remembered I finished that one today. Yeah. I don't expect that my channel is ever going to be super popular, right? I mean, mainly I get a few weird individuals like me who think that, you know, my stuff is somewhat entertaining, I guess, or I'm some kind of oddity, which is fine. But I don't expect to become super popular, especially no overnight viral thing. I mean, unless one of my eyeballs falls out on a live feed and it goes viral or something. I don't know. I'm just going to keep shaking it up, you know. Keep shaking it up. Create a structure that has a fluidity about it, some kind of organic, like a tree, right? A tree that is pruned and nurtured and tied and bound and shaped like a bonsai tree, right? There you go. Gosh, I don't want to go all Miyagi-Do, but the bonsai tree, you know, where it's organic, it's alive, it changes, but it's structured, it's contained, it's kept from going too crazy, right? Maybe bonsai isn't exactly what I'm talking. A puzzle, that's it. I'm a puzzle. I'm an enigma. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. Well, it's 6 o'clock. It's only been an hour, and I'm pretty exhausted, really. I gotta drink more coffee, I guess. I'm just not drinking enough coffee, maybe. Yeah. Oh man, this guy's sick. I know it. I'm gonna go and find out that there's like a host of things wrong with me. You gotta think positive. You gotta think. Yeah, I can do that, but ain't no amount of positivity in the world is gonna change facts from being facts, right? The fact is I'm sick. The fact is there's a lot of things wrong with me, stacked up. A lot of shit I've been ignoring because I just, for the last my entire life, I just get used to something and then just endure, right? And it's become that way with pain since I had my first big injury at work, back 15 years ago. So, or less. But ever since then, it's been one pain after another that I've just managed, just gotten used to, because that's what they told me to do. Pain management. You're going to be in pain the rest of your life because of your injury, so just manage your pain. So, stupid me, I get a pain and I just manage it. It gets worse, I manage it. It gets worse, I manage it. Changes to something else and I manage that. So now, I got a whole lot of shit going on with my body. And this season might end with me going and taking care of stuff, or just going and being done. I don't know. This experiment may not last past the reunion. It may build up to right before the reunion. I may have to do all kinds of stuff over the summer that's gonna keep me from doing the reunion, right? Well, I swore up and down that I don't want to deal with doctors and hospitals and all that shit, and I don't. But what do you do? My wife has come to me and asked me to do something, and I said, look, as long as you're going to be there with me, then that's fine. I'll go. But at the same time, I can't be held responsible for making decisions, because I will make decisions out of with my emotions, right? Rather than my head, because there are certain things that I feel, and I can't make a decision without feeling those things, and then I'm put in the position of then offending the very people who are trying to help me, right? So I just have to have somebody, first of all, there to keep me quiet and just speak for me in a lot of cases, and then make decisions, right? They're going to say this and this and this has to happen. What do you want to do? And I'm just going to look to my wife or my daughter and let them make the fucking decision, because I don't. My only concern is to just survive whatever's going on. And I it's hard for me to think about fucking doctors and the medical industry and the healthcare industry and all of that. So I literally have to cover my ears, cover my eyes, and go blah, 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 anytime I go near a place like that. So I need somebody there who can make decisions and think and just take me in, let them do whatever they're going to do, and then take me out, put me in the car, throw me my pills or whatever they're going to give me, and then take me home. Otherwise, if I have to put myself into it, I just become an asshole. And I hate becoming that asshole, right? I hate it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. And I feel like I don't have any choice, because I feel like I'm not seen or heard. I'm not looked at as a person. I'm looked at as a number or a condition or a treatment plan. And I've gone my entire life, especially since a little kid, not being seen and being marginalized and being looked at as I'm some kind of freak, And when I go in and I see people who have gone to school and spent their whole lives becoming that person who can look down at me like I'm some kind of freak, right? Or look at me like I'm just a number or a condition. And I don't want to go out like that. I want to go out with people that I love and who love me, That's it. And to be stuck in a hospital, that right there would be fucking crazy. I'll tell you what, if this gets weird, I'm going live. I'm recording every fucking thing along the way. That's all there is to it. Because I'm going to assume that I may or may not make it. And I don't want to just all of a sudden be gone without being able to at least reach out and say, hey, what's going on? So, yeah, this whole guy here may change a whole lot in the next 6 months to a year. So get ready for that. And then if I have to, I don't plan on changing. I'm not going to get shuffled off to a hospital and change. I'm going to want to come home as quick as possible. But while I'm there, I'm going to have my books with me. I'm going to have my music with me. I'm going to have my computer with me. I'm going to have my fucking show with me. If that's what's going to happen and that's going to be my life, then the show, the channel, everything's coming with me. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing askew, but I'm going to continue doing it and hopefully come back to normal, whatever that new normal is going to be. But I don't want to just all of a sudden stop and be gone for 6 months, right? I would rather stop, retool, and come back a few weeks later different. However the show changes, however I change, however my world changes. I most especially don't want any of what's going on with me and my channel to interfere with my daughter's school. She's got 3 semesters left. This semester, and then next year. 2 semesters next year. That should be it. Unless she has to try to make up something that she had to reschedule, right? Or redo. She took like 5 or 6 classes this semester so that she could catch up. I blunk again. And I think she's caught up. I think she can go down to 4 classes a semester, or she might have to keep 5 classes a semester in order to graduate with a bachelor's degree in the 2-year plan. So I don't know. I blunk again. For some reason, I keep blinking a lot. I don't know why. Let me watch my camera and then see if my camera blinks. If it's not my camera, then it's the connection or the box here. And since it has blinked on both camera line 2 and camera line 3, it's either the camera or the line. So if I keep staring at the monitor on the camera, I'll know if it's the camera or the line. But damn it, I have to keep staring at that, which means I'm staring at you. Hi. Absolutely, baby. Yeah. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. If I try to change because something changes in my life, then I let that change affect me so much that I'm completely thrown, right? And the YouTube thing, the video project thing, has been the best thing to happen to me since my wife and daughter, right? So I'm going to stick with it. However it changes, however I change, I'm going to try to keep doing what I'm doing. If I got to do this morning show from a hospital bed for a while, then I'll do that. I'm not going to let anything kill me that isn't supposed to kill me, right? I mean, what else do you do? We're all going to die anyway. It's just a matter of trying to survive whatever life throws at you. So I've survived quite a bit. You know, poverty, depression, malnourishment, several times over. I survived a horrible childhood that a lot of my friends look at as like, man, you had a great adventure. And a lot of people look at it as like it must have been great, and it was not. It is what it was, you know. There were some things about it that were cool, but for the most part, no, I had a horrible childhood and pretty much a horrible life, right? Most of my life has been horrible. Only the last 25 years have been anything to write home about, right? Yeah, I had fun here and there. I did a lot of weird shit, but it could have been a whole lot better that first 30 years. The first 10 years could have been 100 times better as far as I'm concerned. But the last 25 years really makes it. The last 5 years has been phenomenal. So things have gotten so much better that, I mean, I'm at the best place I've ever been in my entire life. And I live in squalor. I live in freaking poverty, you know. My health sucks. My house is broken. I can't even drive my van out of town. But I'm in the best place, mentally and emotionally, that I've been my entire life. Thanks to YouTube, thanks to new friends and my wife and daughter. And yeah, it's been great. The idea of a reunion. So, yeah. In fact, I've been waiting for more money to come in so I can get over to the t-shirt place. And I'm just like, I'm afraid I'm just going to have to go over and take them what little money I have and say, here, you know, I don't know what to say. I thought this was going to work. I may try to put together a commercial I may spend a day and just put together a series of t-shirt commercials, right? And pop them out there and let people pass them around and get an idea of what's going on and see who contacts me. You know, and I'll just make some little 59-second videos that I can use as reels or shorts and pop them anywhere and make them usable, you know, for anybody. You know, are you going to the reunion? If you're going to the reunion, you got to have a shirt. Contact me directly. Shirts are now available for reunion attendees. For details, contact me directly. And just kind of make it a, you know, kind of vague ad about the reunion and about shirts, and people are going to tie it together. Ooh, shirts. Ooh, the reunion. And just make it a real rapid fire commercial that gets all of the bells and whistles and hits all of the hot points. And then make a handful of those, and then just drop those every couple of weeks, right? A new commercial every couple of weeks. And I'll just need to sit here and come up with some plans, and then try to pull off as much voiceover as I can this week, if I can do that. Spacing. I was going off into a world trying to find help. and I don't think I'm going to find any help, which is a bummer. There are people out there who have donated, and that has helped, but if that's all that happens, you know, a dozen or even 2 dozen people donate, and that's as far as it's going to go, and then every month or so another person donates, it's not going to happen. It's too slow. So I need to pump it up, double down, and try to figure something out. I mean, I was going to do a live thing, but this whole dentures thing has put up Kai-Fow on that, so I can't do that until I come back. And then now I've got this whole health issue thing on top of that. Once I have all of my teeth removed, my health is going to go, because I won't be eating correctly and I won't be getting the correct nourishment, and it's just a fact that a lot of people lose weight after they have their teeth removed. And a lot of people have poor health after that. So I'm going to be doing all I can do to stay up and not fall into that. But I got a poor diet as it is, right? It's not a diet that's bad, it's the eating habits that are bad. So something that I'll be changing over the next few weeks as well will be what I eat and when I eat and how I eat, and how I prepare food, where I get food. And I'm going to be changing my diet, and then I'll just be taking the foods that I'm going to be normally eating after that, and making them so that I can eat them in the condition I'm in. And then I'll just continue eating them whole, whatever those foods are. Mainly it's going to be a lot of home-cooked meals, whole food, home-cooked meals from fresh meats and produce and vegetables and fruits and dairy and stuff. And just try to get really good foods and to create really good foods from them, right? I don't know what else to do other than just avoid all processed foods, kick out a bunch of sugars, get rid of a bunch of the crap, and just stick to the basics. Go back to the original 4 basic food groups. Cut out the bullshit. Cut out the processed bullshit. Cut out all those additives and preservatives. Cut out all the sugar, right? And just stick to, you know, lightly seasoned whole foods made into really good meals. That's it. That's all I can think of to do. That has worked for me in the past, and when I've done that, I've been really happy and healthy. So, coming up with meals to eat that we can handle making and eating. What we've done in the past is create a family menu. A menu of items for dinners and lunches and stuff that we know that we like and we know are good, happy, healthy foods made from whole foods, right? And I think it's going to be, I'm going to have a notebook, and it's going to become the family menu / family cookbook. Here are these meals, and in case I ain't around, here's how to cook these meals. Yeah. I've got so many things to deal with, right?
wish I could get a personal assistant. That's really what I need. I need somebody who's working with me 8 to 10 hours a day, who is in charge of helping me to catalog and curate all the crap that's going on in my life. Right? And get a lot of shit done in a short amount of time. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get everything done. I don't. I think it's inevitable to leave a life unfinished. It's just, there's no getting around it. Unless you plan for it and take care of everything and then just take your own life. But that ain't going to happen. So I need to come up with a viable plan to get everything done. Every day, my day is set up to achieve as much as possible. The end being leaving this world, I guess, with as much accomplished as possible in my own life, right? Not, I'm not going to try to save the world. I'm not going to try to be senator. I'm not going to have a giant company and rule the world and have all the money. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to wrap up my life the best I can, right? Hi, dog. What's going on? You want water, food? You want to go outside? I blunked again, but I didn't catch it on the thing. I don't think it was the camera. I don't know. You can't have any of my cereal bar. I gotta go check a dog situation. I'll be right back. You want to get on this table, this chair? Is that what you want? A table. You want to get on the chair? Huh? Want to get up here? Huh? Come on. You don't know what you want? You don't know what you want? Hmm? Good girl. You want some of my cereal bar, huh? Okay, here you go. Here you go. Well. Yeah, I guess if I could, I would build another little room, another office, like the laundry room at the 10 by 12. It's great, tall, big. Yeah, that would probably be the. And then just do all of this in that one room. I know that one's mine. It's gone. Forget it. Totally. Yeah. So basically what I need to do for the reunion donation thing is to try to gather up all of those, first of all of the photos that Gary has sent me from Elsinore today, and then all of the stuff from yesterday, and scan through some of those yearbooks and take some photos from some of the yearbooks, and just kind of put together some ideas, you know. I think one of the ads should be a yearbook ad where it's, you know, maybe that's it. The commercials should be about the events that are going to be taking place during the weekend. So there should be a commercial about boating and fishing, skiing, right? The lake. There should be a themed after event. What do you call those? Event plans, right? Try to collect videos and photos that will work to talk about just one aspect of the weekend. You know, if you want to see these guys perform, you need to get a shirt. You need some shirts, because we need you to have shirts in order for us to get the means by which to pull this off. This is a friends and family reunion. And pretty much everybody's invited, right? Anybody who's ever lived in Lake Elsinore and gone to those schools and has chewed some of the same dirt and lake water that we all have. That's who the party's for. So the bigger the better, right? The more shirts that go out, the more donations that come in, the bigger the thing is going to be, and yeah, the more we'll be able to accommodate more fun. I'm going to have to go and get serious about setting up, you know, about 3 months in, I'm going to have to get serious about setting up all of the different event things, you know, where's the hike, all right? Here's the trail, here's where we drive to get to the trail, you know, here's the town walk, here's the town bike ride, here's the motorcycle trails, this, that, and I'll probably just put someone else in charge of a couple of these things. Here's the tour, who's going to help us with the tour and get some logistics set up. The museum has to be a part of the tour. The schools have to be a part of the tour. Downtown has to be a part of the tour. There's a bunch of requirements. DeJong's Dairy, Circle K, Ortega Oaks Market, the old Alamo, the old neighborhood. I mean, everything has to be planned out so that we hit all of the things. Where do people want to go for lunch? Do they want to make it back to, they want to take the bag lunch with them? Do they all decide, okay, we're going to go to In-N-Out for lunch, so we're going to make our way, and that'll just be part of the plan. Okay, here's the plan to go have lunch while you're out, and here's the plan to take lunch and to go somewhere, a combination of the two. You go to a drive-thru, you grab stuff, and then you go sit and people have box lunch and takeout, you know, and try to plan everything out on an agenda so that people get the most out of their visit. That's what an agenda is for, not to control everybody's activities and everything, but so that people can get the most out of their time, you know. And it's going to be a lot about feel-good moments and photo ops and videos and a lot of standing in one spot going, oh my God, right? So That's what I'm planning for. What do you want? Do you want to go outside? You want to go outside? You want to go to bed? Go lay down. Go on, go lay down. She don't know what she wants. Now I gotta go read her mind. Alright, I'm gonna be Olaf the mind reader here. And go figure out what this dog wants. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll leave the mic on so you can hear me. What do you want, baby? Well, she'll be back after not too long. I mean, I'm sure of it. She's a kind of a chicken dog, so yeah. Oi, my goodness. I really do need like 3 of me. You know, especially in my current state. At least one of me could be sleeping, one of me could be recuperating, and one of me could be busting ass on something. And then we could just keep trading places so that somebody's always busting ass, right? I could get shit done then. But right now, in my current state, I can't get shit done. You know, I can barely fucking feed myself and have the desire to feed myself. I can barely work. I barely manage a trip to the grocery store, right? On occasion, I'm tasked with driving out of town, sometimes a few times within a week, right? Like the last time we did it was like I went out of time 4 times within like a week. And some of them were pretty heavy trips. And that really takes its toll on me. Physically, but just physically. Those things used to crash me emotionally, right? Because I would have these great highs where normally my depressive personality, when I would have a great huge high, that would turn to a huge low, right? Because you feel like, you know, you just don't deserve anything good. And so you punish yourself, right? And now I'm just too exhausted to go to those lows, right? I just go out, I have a good time, I do my stuff, come back, and I'm just wiped out. And too wiped out to be in that low place. All I can do is just kind of revel in what fun I had, right? I'm gonna have to get that dog in a second here. A little cool and breezy out there, so she's not going to want to stay out long. Have fun storming the castle, kids. Vienna, Vienna. So, I have 1 more week of this. I don't know how I'm going to wrap it up. I don't know how. Oh, there she is. All right, back in a flash. And bring in the big dog. Totally. Yeah. So night 2 of using that white noise sound machine thing to sleep, and it's working. I'm actually dreaming. I'm still getting up 3 or 4 times within a 4-hour period, but going back to sleep is a lot quicker. And then when I'm sleeping, I'm sleeping more solid. So while I feel more rested this morning, I'm still exhausted, mainly because I only sleep about 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, I don't think it was the camera. I looked over at the camera real quick and it was still good. So maybe it's maybe it's this cord. So what I'll do next is try a different cable to the camera and see if I can get it to not blink like that. Totally, man. Anyway, good morning. I hope you enjoyed your holiday. I did. We didn't do much. My daughter liked the picture disc that we got for her. It was a Pierce the Veil picture disc. I was saying something else the other day, and Joey corrected me. Thank you. But she really liked it because of the artwork and then the band on the back. So we're going to try to figure out how to hang it up from her ceiling in the corner of the room so it'll kind of spin with the breeze and she can see the album there. Because that's what we used to do with picture discs, was hang them up from the ceiling spinning so you could see both sides, you know, and you just leave them in the plastic cover, put a hanger in it and hang it up. Pretty cool. Or a little skinny dowel or piece of plastic or something with some string on the ends. That's all it takes, baby. Just put it on a hook. There are some little swivels that are made for fishing line and tackle and stuff, little lead swivels. Some of those would be great to use because then you could tie it to a hook, put it on a hook, and then tie it to the other end of the swivel, and then it would actually spin, you know, hit it with a little bit of lubricant, a little graphite lubricant, and it's just going to keep spinning, baby, with that breeze. Turn the fan on, the air conditioner on, and that thing is just going to spin around. Little activity. Totally. Do bitch. Yeah, morning time is my time. Everybody's asleep, except for the dogs, maybe. And I can just sit and not so much plan my day as, which I do. I do a lot of planning. And then it's just a matter of trying to carry out all those plans. Very seldom do I carry out every single plan that I make. Very seldom do I plan it and carry out half of what I plan. But mainly it's just sitting here feeling good. You know, thinking, wow, I woke up. I'm alive. I hurt. The pain is coming on. But I'm alive. I'm here. Yeah. As I was saying that, the pain was just going, hey, you're talking about me. Yeah. Thanks a lot, pain. Hey, don't mention it. Hey, anytime. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. I'm sitting way back, so this kind of looks... That's a little better. You get my full beard in there. Yeah. Hey, the whole beard. Anyways. Yeah. I don't know where to begin explaining to a doctor what's going on, how I feel, where the pain is. I'm going to be like my fingernails, and he's going to be like, what? They don't hurt. And what do you mean they don't hurt? They're the only part of me that doesn't fucking hurt. Right? Oh. Well, what's your biggest pain? Being here. After that, it's complicated. Highly complicated. I am going to have to go to so many fucking doctor visits. I am going to have so many fucking tests done. I know, because I've done this before. The last time we went through all of this, I went through 3 or 4 years of going back every 6 to 8 months, having different tests done, having the same tests done again, and having shit compared. and then having them say, well, what pictures from last time? Ugh. So, yeah, I really need to fucking learn how to bite my tongue and just learn how to do something other than be in the moment, right? I imagine that I'm going to be doing a lot of headphone stuff, taking books with me. I imagine that I am going to have a bag. My denim bag here, my big over-the-shoulder denim bag, is going to come back with me. That was the bag that I had my wife make for me. Originally, the original one was made for college. I went to 2.5 years of college, and that thing went to every class with me. That bag over my shoulder with my stuff in it, and then my my book bag that was essentially a suitcase on wheels. And then I also had a big art box that was a big giant suitcase on wheels. But that was my rehabilitation from being injured, was to learn how to deal with the pain and to work with the pain, and dragging that shit around for 2.5 years on campus is what did it. But I need to put together my bag with things in it that I'm going to need sitting in a doctor's office all fucking day. Because even though my wife says she's going to be there through the whole thing with me, that's not going to happen, right? There's going to be days where she's got to do other stuff because of responsibility and obligation, and she's just not going to be able to be there. So we're going to be trying to set up things so that they're on days when we know she's going to be available, basically, so that she can be there with me through all of this. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what, Alright, I lied. I know what's going on. I guess I need the doctors to confirm it and let me know if there's anything they can fucking do. Confirm it or disprove my, diagnoses. And then figure it out from there. If there's nothing that can be done, then I just want to come back here and keep doing this until my heart gives out. Because I certainly don't want to go out the way my father went out. I saw him in his last 24 hours, 12 hours, and I don't want that. My heart can't take that anyway. I know that the way I've treated my body and my heart, it's pretty much been a slow suicide anyway. So it'll probably be my heart. Whatever I go through, whatever's going on, it's probably going to be my heart. I just don't want my heart to give out on some fucking hospital slab somewhere in a surgery. I don't want to do that. I didn't have surgery on my neck. First of all, because they ate up all the money going in the wrong fucking direction, trying to treat my shoulder. And then recovery. They weren't going to pay for recovery. But the most of all, the reason I didn't have the surgery on my neck is because I would have had to go through all of that pain and surgery and all of that, recover on my own, and then it wouldn't take care of the pain completely. It would just freeze up some vertebrae so that I would have less mobility. And I'm like, well, where's the plus, right? It's like I have great mobility now. It just hurts. It feels like a bag of glass on my neck, right? So I get to keep the pain, but I get less mobility. Well, fuck you. Give me something I can use. So I didn't have the surgery. You know, I couldn't afford it. Either way. Yeah, so it's going to come down to the same thing with whatever's going on with me. Can I afford it physically? Will I be able to take whatever treatment you're going to try to pawn off on me? And would it be better just to try to survive with what I got as long as I can survive? Or do I take the surgery figuring it's going to be 50-50 survive in that, and that's going to be within a couple of hours? That's going to happen, you know. Am I going to survive the surgery? Is that when my heart's going to give out? So I'm scared to death of going under the knife because there's a pretty good chance my heart's just going to give out. Even if I stop smoking and get healthier, it's not going to be healthy enough to prevent that because my heart's been fucked up my whole life, you know. Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to have to be that kind of a choice. You know, you've got X, you know, Y, Z wrong with you. If we try to take care of X and Y, Z's still going to kill you, right? But X and Y, trying to treat those might kill you sooner. Well, fucking, then I'll keep X and Y and fucking Z, and I'll just go on as long as I can. Treat those while I've still got them. I guess. I don't know. There's probably very little wrong with me that can be taken care of through a local, which means I'm going to have to go under, and that's the bummer. You know, you better sedate the fuck out of me when you take me out of the room because I don't want to know what's going on after my wife kisses me goodbye and I close my eyes. I don't want to know anything after that. Until I either I'm done or I wake up looking back at my wife, right? I don't want to know anything. I don't want the time from there to wait to go with the mask, and I don't want to do any of that, you know. That's all, you know, pre-bullshit to the final bullshit, and I don't want to deal with the final bullshit. Yeah. What do you do? What do you do? So that's why I just have to say, okay, well, you guys are in charge. My wife and daughter have power of attorney. They know how I want to be dealt with if something happens. They know what to say, what to agree with, what to not agree with. You know, basically they have to take care of me because I won't want to be taken care of at some point. I will just want everybody to fuck off. And I know me. I know that's the way I'm going to be. Well, you have to be positive. You can't think like that. You can't. You know what? What am I supposed to change? Fucking, you know, a piece of shit into a diamond, right? You can't work fucking miracles. I can just work with what I got, right? And what I got is a poor attitude against the rest of the fucking world, especially those people who think that they know better, you know. So, I can't get into it with those people, especially if I'm doing something like that and I already have to be wrapped up mentally and emotionally in something else. I don't want to have to be dealing with the back and forth social aspect of dealing with these fucking people. That has to go to my wife and daughter. They have to take over that role of being my mouth and being the decision makers because I won't want to fucking do it. And then they have to be around as much as possible to keep me from being a fucking asshole. And I have to be able to go into my own world as much as possible to avoid, you know, pissing people off and being a jerk and being looked at as some kind of fucking asshole. You know, my father got injured and was in the hospital, and he freaked the fuck out and wanted the fuck out of there. And the security was going to kick him out of the fucking hospital right in the middle of all this shit because same thing, you know. You get to the point where you don't want to fucking deal with this kind of fucking bullshit because at some point it just becomes bullshit set up for other people, you know, and you just become the reason that their bullshit is fucking going on, and you don't want to be a part of that anymore, I don't want to be somebody's fucking job, right? I don't want to be somebody's fucking work. I don't want to be that, you know? I don't want to be somebody else's fucking responsibility, whether I live or fucking die. That's my responsibility, or my wife or daughter's responsibility, or somebody who I deem fit to be responsible for whether I fucking live or die, right? So it's frustrating going to some stranger and saying, here's my life, don't fuck me, right? I can't even do that with my fucking car, you know, and I'm supposed to do that with my life. I can't do that with my dog. I won't take my dog to certain people because they would just fuck me and fuck my dog. So therein lies the whole reason why my wife and daughter have to be responsible for everything after a certain point. Once they hear me go quiet and look the other way, they need to speak up and be in charge, because I'm checking out and I no longer want to be here, and they have to understand that if I continue to speak, it's better if I just get up and walk out. Otherwise, I'm going to just piss a whole lot of people off. You know, because nobody likes to be told that they're a fucking sham and that they're full of shit and that all they do is treat and they don't fucking cure. You know, they don't want to be told that. And I'm going to reach a point to where I'm just going to explode, and I don't want to go there. I don't want to make somebody feel bad. I don't want to belittle somebody's job, because that's all it is. When you all get down all right down to it and boil it down to the nuts and fucking bolts of it, it's just a job to these people. Most of these people, it's just a job. They went to a school to get a job that was going to pay good, and they could get a good car and a house and have their kids and all that. That's all it is, right? To most people. Very few people are out there to really, really help, right? At least from what I see. Especially when I go to these fucking industrial healthcare fucking places. You know? If they were really, really there to be helpful, they'd fucking help themselves, and they wouldn't weigh 300 fucking pounds, barely fitting through the fucking door with a soda in one hand and smelling like fucking cigarettes, right? And these are the people that are supposed to help me be healthy? I have to walk out of these places fucking screaming, you know? three fat ass fucking nurses walk in holding 44-ounce fucking jugs of fucking soda, those big ones with the fucking handles, right? Oh yeah, there's just water in there, right? And they all fucking reek like cigarettes. Or they're still puffing out their fucking vape, right? Don't talk to me about being fucking healthy. Don't talk to me about health care, health maintenance. You know, that's not what this is set up for. This is set up to keep people in the fucking system, you know? I'm going to have to get off of this kick. And throw myself into something so that, okay, when I go to the doctor, when I go to the dentist, when I do that, here's where I go. I go into my phone, I go into a book, I do both, whatever I got to do to escape. And then I just have my wife and daughter there with me, or one or both, and let them do the talking. You know, I'll answer a few questions, but don't try to fucking, you know, don't try to convince me you're not a fucking witch doctor, you know, who probably Googled your way through fucking medical school, and who don't really give a shit about what's going on here because you got a tea time set up, or whatever the fucking your issue is. You know, you got another office to go to rake in some more fucking money. I don't know. I don't care, you know, and therefore I just need to be checked the fuck out when I go into these places. I need to go in high, and I need to go in loose, and I need to go in completely distracted. What's wrong with him? He don't want to be here. He don't like doctors. We brought him in. Be nice to him. If you don't, he's going to get up and walk out. And that's how it has to fucking be. Alright? I am who I am. It is what it fucking is. I've had to deal with other people's bullshit my entire fucking life. Guess what? It's the world's turn to fucking deal with me. You know, obviously, I've been on YouTube for a fucking year now. So, you know, take it or leave it. For good or for bad, for better or worse, I'm here. I'm weird. Get used to it. Or fuck off. And that's the way it is with the doctors and the doctors' offices. You know, it's, you know, I get it. You know, I'm different. I'm not what you want to see in the world, right? Get over yourself, you know. I am who I am. And once we get past that, then we get to the point to where they're trying to convince me of their professionalism. And as soon as it goes from being discourteous, as soon as it goes to being discourteous and unnice, then I turn off and I check out. And the asshole turns on, and I hate that. I hate it when that happens to me. That's the worst thing that fucking happened to me, is when the asshole shows up, you know. And it's usually somebody else's fault. I don't want that asshole around, you know. I give everyone the benefit of the doubt, you know. I will treat you with kindness and respect and courtesy until you don't do that to me, and then we got a fucking problem, and then here comes the asshole. Oh shit, what? The asshole's coming. Where? Right fucking here, jerk. You know, and that's the way it works. That's the way it works. That's how that works. And every day I go out happy with a smile on my face, and I try real hard to keep it there so that I don't have that air about me of stay the fuck away, right? I like to interact with people who are nice and courteous. It's all of a sudden I get those assholes and they turn me into the jerk that I don't want to be. And when you go to like a doctor's office or a dentist's office and they just literally look you up and down. I can see them, you know, it's like, how dare you look me up and down with that stink nose, you know, and then make eye contact with me. Oh, hello, you know. Do you not understand that I can see that? I can see you do that, and I can read body language, right? I know what you're doing. I know what you're thinking, right? And people just, especially down in Palm Springs, you know, where you look like me, and all of a sudden they figure, oh, it's just one of those homeless guys, one of those drug users, one of those what fucking evers, right? Whatever they want to convince themselves that I am. And I've had that my whole fucking life, you know, which has probably made me, to some degree, exactly what they think I am. But I'm also somebody who gets pissed off when somebody just instantly judges me to my face and makes it so obvious that they're judging me, right? Even saying, you know, things judgmentally toward me. Yeah. But then when it becomes someone who's supposed to be there to help you, right? A police officer, a fireman, a paramedic, a doctor, a nurse, right? A judge. When they're supposed to be there to help you and they just instantly judge you, right? They make a decision that you're this and they're not responsible, right? And I mean, I wear this disguise so that people stay the fuck away from me. But I can also see a lot of people who can look past that. And people should look past that. I look past a lot of bullshit when I go out into the world. Like I said, every day everybody gets the benefit of the doubt, and it's a new day, and they have a new opportunity to change my mind one way or the other. What kind of person are you? Your actions are going to show exactly who you are and what you are. And usually most people out in the world will be given the opportunity to be seen how they really are, and they fuck it up. You know, most of them will fuck it up. You know, like 1 out of 10 people that I come in contact with throughout the entire day will be really nice and will have a nice tone in their voice and will smile and will be engaging and kind and courteous, right? And I can feel it and I can return it. And then there are those others where they would rather chew off their arm than to shake hands with you, right? Well, it's 7 o'clock. There's 1 hour left in the week. I have 1 week left. A week from Monday. I will be going on hiatus for about 3 weeks. Hopefully it won't be any longer than that before I can kind of get back into the world, start talking through my teeth, my fake teeth, my temporary fake teeth, and try to get something going on. And try to get back into the mix by the end of January. By early February, I hope to be back doing the morning show, and I hope to be introducing once a week, introducing some new element into the mornings and or into the evenings and throughout the day, depending on my daughter's university schedule, because we will be in probably the first couple of weeks of that when I come back. So I will have a time to figure out that schedule and how I fit into that schedule, and then where this schedule is going to work around that, right? I do want to come back with nighttime nonsense and nostalgia on Fridays. I do want to come back with Minecrafting Mondays. I want to come back with more live interactive elements to the morning show and to other elements of the morning show later in the day. Themed stuff. So, yeah, taking some time off is going to be really, really helpful in planning things out and putting together some kind of workable schedule. I know when I was doing mornings 5 days a week and nighttime nonsense and nostalgia 5 days a week, plus the regular programming, plus doing all the other little things that I was doing, I was really overwhelmed. And I don't want to do that again. I don't want to be busy 5 mornings a week and 5 nights a week. I would prefer 2 nights a week, 5 mornings a week, and a few recorded programs like the Video Time Machine, and maybe some other recorded program, something. I'm sure I've got a list of stuff that I can pull from. Yeah. More videos, more original content videos. And I'm going to be going through all of the ed films and stuff that I've uploaded previously and using some of that content for newer Video Time Machines. Because a lot of this, I'll go back and look at a lot of that stuff and I'll have like 3 views. It'll be like a year old and have 3 views. And I'm like, we can use that somewhere, put it in a Video Time Machine and give it some more life, right? I need to come up with better descriptions for my videos and my channel and all of that shit. Yeah, so I really need to hone a lot of stuff. And come to terms with whether or not I'm going to continue certain things or just be done with it. I'd really like to get 1 or 2 other people involved in the channel just doing other shows, right? Like shows that I thought I could take on, give those shows to someone else and have them work with me, you know? Go out, take some videos on this subject and then bring them back and I'll turn it into a video. And then we can share it on each other's channels, right? Be great. You know, now we got 2 channels pumping out the same stuff and I can collaborate with people, and that's an option now on YouTube, collaboration. Yeah. I'm really hoping that doing the teeth thing, since my teeth have been so bad for so many years, most of my life, after losing my 2 front teeth got chipped out when I was really young, in 5th or 6th grade, and it devastated me because I was already suffering from depression and anxiety and all this other shit. That when that happened, it really took me out of the world. Even though my father took me to a really good dentist and had them replaced right away, it was still always different, and they felt different, and they looked different, and I just felt different, right? And then I went through a decade or so of having those teeth knocked out again, or one of them knocked out again, and I've had to deal with a bad cap, and it was just a real horrible bummer. So I'm hoping that getting some good-looking teeth in my mouth will help me to have a newfound confidence, right? I don't know. I know it's going to change how I sound, how I look, how I talk, how I eat, how I drink, how I do everything. So, I don't know. There's a lot of shit that I want to fucking do. And time's ticking. And I've done a lot this year. I've done more this year than I've done probably the last 10 years. Probably most of my whole life, if you count all the things if you just count the things that I want to do and want to accomplish and never got to or never got to finish, this has been the best year of my life, right? The last 5 years have been the best year of my life overall, because of my wife and daughter and kind of where I've been in my head. I microdosed mushrooms about 4 or 5 years ago, and retuned my brain to be happy, essentially. And it worked, and it helped. And it kept me from a lot of darker places. I still went to dark places over those few years, but mostly the darkest place I went was toward the end of my friend being here. And then right after he vanished, evaporated. And right around there is when I was at my darkest, but that's right around there is when I started this. And this saved me. This saved me from that dark place. And it saved me from just wanting to hate, right? So much so that I'm planning this reunion, and I hope that the asshole has got the balls to show up and see everybody. I wouldn't want to see him. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with him at all. I mean, but I would hope that he would want to come and see everybody there, because it's not about me, and I don't intend to make it about me, so much so that I may not be able to show up if I'm in the throes of fucking doctor bullshit, right? But I hope that people who don't like me have the wherewithal to fucking show up and see the people that want to see them, and see the people they want to see, right? Don't make it about me. Don't make it about some confrontation, right? Because I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that at all. I hope that the people who need to be there are there, right? So I wouldn't have felt like that before I microdosed mushrooms. I wouldn't have felt like that before my father passed away. I wouldn't have felt like that maybe before 3 years ago, before my daughter and I started going out and doing stuff together. And I started to get out and into the world more and interact socially. So it's all been a huge, giant change. I hope that, people are able to show up and set aside any bullshit, right? And just show up and not have any bullshit happen, right? That would be my ultimate wish and goal for this whole reunion is to have all of those people show up, regardless of how they feel about me or each other, but how they feel about others, and can put aside the bullshit and just show up for a day, for a week, for however long they can show up, an hour, you know, however long they can take it, and show up and, you know, and be there. If I gotta phone it in, I'm gonna be there. If I gotta have somebody set up a monitor and a camera so that I'm there, hey, turn the whole, you know, and just put the whole TV and camera on an easel and just have people spin it around. Hey, turn me this way. Hey, turn me that way. And do it from a frickin' doctor's room. If that's the way it's got to be, that's the way it's going to fucking be. You know? Yeah. I mean, if people show up that I don't really care to talk to, I'm just going to ignore them. We're adults, you know? I could just tune them out, you know? It'll be just like going to Walmart, you know? You just tune them out. I can go to Walmart and tune out most of the people. Most people can go to Walmart and tune out everybody and just be in their own world. I see it all the time. They bump past me. Oh, sorry. It happens all the time. People in their own world. I walk really slow through Walmart because I'm afraid of getting cut off and then getting pissed off. Yeah, I'm afraid of coming around a corner too fast and bumping into somebody because people are just moving around there too fast. And I can't move fast anyway for too long. I move too fast through Walmart. If I come into Walmart and move fast all the way to the back, by the time I get to the back, my knee's blown out. And then I'm hobbling. So I just move through the place really slow, you know, and ignore a lot of people. So if I can ignore a lot of people there, I can ignore a lot of people at, say, a reunion party with 100 or more people there. Hopefully, you know, it'll be 100 people or more. And it'll probably be something like that because of where the people who say that they're coming, that list is you know, about 18 or 20 people. So, I don't know. I think it's the new year. I need to put together some advertisements for the reunion and the shirts, and I need to come up with a bunch of mock-ups so that I can get people on board. I'm really seriously thinking about screen printing. The cost is, right now it's prohibitive. It's just too much money to even think about getting more shirts printed at this point. Even it's like beyond my means at this point to think about finishing off what we've already got going on because I don't have enough interest in it. You know, it should be all over Facebook. Everybody who sees it should share it, and it's not getting shared. You know, it is, but it's just not enough. So I need to make something. I need another couple of shots at this before I give up, right? And if I can just create some powerful commercials for the reunion, then maybe I can pull something off. If I had a electric guitar and some effects here, I would come up with some great music to theme these commercials with, right? But I got nothing here. And I got nobody that I can collaborate with because nobody's on the same schedule or on the same frequency that I'm on, you know. It's just I'm not hitting that jive button with really anybody right now. Yeah. Mainly because I'm kind of scatterbrained with what's going on with me in life. That's hot. It's about time to get another half a cup. And take a leak. Totally. Yeah, I've been feeling kind of run down lately, big time. I feel like I need to make some checkout videos, and post them for future dates. And then if I get close to that date, push that date out further and just keep pushing those video premieres further and further out. And changing them as I need to, updating them. Maybe I should create a special playlist of videos and make a bunch of videos to go public after I'm gone or no longer able to push buttons and push those videos further out, right? If you're watching this, then something's gone wrong kind of video, right? Or something has reached its inevitability, right? Its eventuality, which that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is for everybody. A lot of people don't see it and they fear it and they loathe it and they mourn it and stuff. And it's a bummer. But you throw a rock in a crowd and you're going to hurt somebody, right? It's going to happen, right? Something that's going to happen. What an analogy that was. If you go out into the water and you don't splash your arms, man, you're going to sink. Right? There's really nothing you can do. Right? No one has lived forever, at least no one that we know of. Right? Nobody's lived forever. Nobody's lived for more than 120 something, 130 years, I believe. At least not since, if you believe the shit in the Bible about people living for hundreds of years, But weren't they all inbred? I mean, didn't Adam and Eve beget somebody who begot somebody who begot somebody who begot somebody? So if that's the fact, then wasn't mankind just a bunch of inbreds? That's the way I see it. So, you get whatever time you get. That's the way I see it. You check in, you get your time, you do your time, you check out. That's it. Unless there's some great magic that I don't know about that keeps you alive forever, and if so, then do you have to hide and nobody ever knows you're around? You live forever, you control stuff, you do things, you manipulate, but nobody's ever seeing you. Could that be a thing? I don't know. But for the most of us, those of us who live in reality, you're born, you live, you die. Whatever time in between is what you get. Sometimes you can make it longer, sometimes it's a lot shorter, but the ultimate goal to life is death, right? That's it. That's the end game. That's where it goes. We're all headed in the same direction, right? So I don't get all worked up, right? When someone passes away, I'm bummed that they're gone, but that's on me. They just completed the journey, right? The bummer is really on them. They, maybe they weren't finished. Probably not. Most of us aren't finished because we don't plan to wrap things up. We just plan to go on and go on and go on, right? Our plan to wrap things up is usually what, life insurance and a will, and that's the plan to wrap things up. But that's, post-mortem, Yeah. Then there's the old bucket list, you know. Oh shit, I'm sick. I better work on a bucket list, right? This is my bucket list, right? Trying to figure shit out. Trying to get her done. And to take as many people with me as I can on the trip of remembering, you know. Because this YouTube thing has been fun for me. I've had a real fun journey, not just learning what I can do with what I got here, but things from my past. I've been able to explore so many places. I keep doing these videos and putting on these videos where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to go back and watch this because this is heavy. This says so much about my era, my life, my personality, you know. There's so many things. So many things. Yeah. Yeah, just a lot of fun. A lot of fun stuff. I was putting together an educational film last night to be uploaded today, and I'm going through it, checking it out for content to make sure that it doesn't have any huge gaps, make sure that it has a beginning and an end and all this. And this one barely had a beginning and an end, or beginning. But I was bopping through it, and I got to a point where all of a sudden, and it's called, what was it called? Sudden Birth is what it was called. And it was a police officer's training film about dealing with sudden birth, right? So they had a couple of girls in a car, and apparently the car was broken down and they were on their way to the hospital. A police officer showed up and helped a woman give birth to her baby, right? In the back of this car. And all of a sudden, it's very, very graphic in its reality, you know. And there's everything right there. There's Mother Nature exposed. And I'm like, whoa, this is not going on the channel. This is not going to happen. This is, I'm going to have to take this and blur out some of this stuff so that I can use it on the channel because it's important. But it gets a little graphic. I mean, at one point, I went back and observed some of it, and I was clicked and stopped, and it played, and it was this explosion of bodily, it's literally an explosion and squirting of bodily fluids, and I was like, I had to move past it. I didn't even want to know what happened. I didn't check to see, I didn't go back to see what, no, it was like, nope, you know, and I'm not a squeamish guy, but it's like, I don't, you know, I've seen all of this before. I don't need to see it again, you know, kind of a thing. But it's something that should be seen. It shouldn't not be seen, right? It's important. So, but it should be blurred out a little bit. I got the feeling that even though in the credits it looked like the officer and the mother were different people, I got the impression that perhaps this was the officer's wife and they agreed to do this kind of a thing. And they planned this all out, that he would be available to go to her and they would have the cameras ready and everything. Because it was real. It was live birth in the back of a frickin' car. They probably did it outside of a hospital just in case. But it was really in the car. And it was real. So I think that I can go back and to some extent blur some of the stuff so that it's YouTube acceptable. I'm sure I could put it on YouTube and just put, hey, this is graphic in nature. But still, I don't want it on my channel like that. I don't want exposed woohoos with babies coming out going, woohoo! You know, I'll pass on that. But, you know, from the time I was a little kid, I've seen the birth of puppies and kittens and stuff. So it's not a big deal to me. But it is pretty graphic. So, But it's a good video. It was a good training video, you know. Except for the cop at the end who came in and stuck his head in and smiled, came back out smiling. I mean, that was kind of a little creepy. And he was the older guy. Even though that one shot was probably done after the fact, and it was outside the car, and she was probably already gone. But it was a good video. Yeah, but I've got a whole bunch of them I went and got last night. Rounded up a whole bunch more videos for the next 3 weeks that I've got to upload for February. I gotta get some more coffee or something. Wow, about a half hour left in the morning show here. I've really got to dig up this other microphone that I've got. Got another microphone somewhere, and for the life of me, I've been looking for it and looking for it and looking for it and can't fucking find it. And I don't know if I left it somewhere or lost it or had it out somewhere and just walked away from it or what. You know, but I for the life of me, I cannot find this other microphone like this one. And I want to put it on a stand so I can set it on a desk, on a coffee table or something and use it, right? Damn it. So, yeah, I'll probably hook up a couple of different audio mixers in here for the next season. Multi-camera, multi-monitor deal. I'm going to put a few more microphones around and so I can turn microphones and cameras and stuff on and off. So I can go to one spot and sit and have another microphone on and another one off. Switch cameras, have effects. Yeah. It'll be neat. Because once again, I'm just doing this for me. I'm just doing this to see what I can do and how much fun I can have doing it. And how entertaining it can be, right? Can I create videos that are entertaining and fun? You know, the original content that I've created, the most popular video I have is a 5-minute Elsinore Brothers trailer to this channel. So that being the most popular right now, I am probably going to combine those types of elements with some of the other stuff that I'm doing now that already has become semi-popular, right? The video time machine type stuff. And introduce some of the original content that I have from the 1970s and 80s. Right? That'll be fun. But I need to turn all of this off for a few weeks and come up with a whole plan for everything and work that into my daughter's schedule, my wife's schedule, the household schedule, my health care bullshit schedule, and the regular stuff on the channel. You know, I may work diligently over the next month while I'm off the channel to program out as far as I can, maybe 6 months out in advance with some stuff, so that I've got a good jump on the future, so that I can have time to take care of shit that I need to take care of personally and professionally with the channel. I would like to take this in a really heavy-duty direction with making videos. I would really like to collaborate with 1 or 2 people on making some really great videos. So, I don't think that's going to happen. I'd love it to happen, but I don't expect it to happen. If it happens, it'll be a wonderful surprise, but I don't expect it to happen in earnest. While we might plan to do cool stuff, the chances of actually pulling stuff off are pretty slim because of life's realities. I think I'm hearing voices. I gotta go check my wife and see if things are happening. Okay, my wife is awake. She's on the phone. I would assume that she's talking to her brother, who is now moving into the area. Thank goodness. I am so happy that her brother is moving down. He's going to be just an hour up the road, and it's just a one-shot old highway, Old Woman Springs Road, and he's going to be right up the road, right? And that's like, wow, that's fucking awesome, right? We are going to see so much of each other. My wife and he are going to see so much of each other. And not to mention the fact that she just found out that her mother is coming to visit. And she asked, can I come and stay with you? And my wife is like, yeah. And she's like, well, don't you have to ask your husband and find out if it's okay? And she's like, no. And I'm like, exactly. There's like it's like a no-brainer, right? It's like a no-brainer. Mom's coming to stay? Yeah. How long do we get to keep her? That's what we want to know, you know. And, you know, I'm thinking, well, the first thing that came into my mind is the dogs are saying, tortillas, because they love to sit with Grandma while she's eating and get fed tortillas. So, and also, dog pile on Grandma. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking. Grandma hanging out. My daughter went through 4 years of Spanish in high school and talks regularly with Mom. So she's going to be able to sit with Grandma and actually communicate, right? And that is so friggin' awesome. So that's cool. I think we are going to probably set up a room for her, right? Which means my wife and Mom will be in the bedroom together on the king-size bed, and I will be out here in my own element because I have such odd hours anyway. And I will be doing my own thing, kind of sleeping in my own little area here. I'm probably going to get my recliner, my lazy boy, and bring it over and do some resting in that, and get a couple of more ottomans for our sofa so we can just turn that into a big bed. And then I'll just have a bedroll that I can roll out onto it, and, you know, and there you go. Something puffy and cushiony. And I can't wait. So there's a lot that's going to be going on that all of a sudden just happened. It's possible that we'll see enough of my brother-in-law that we can get him to help us with some of these projects that I just cannot do anymore, right? That would be great. He's going to be looking for work as soon as he gets down here, so that'll be interesting. Trying to find him something that he can deal with out here, because it's a different deal than living up northern Pacific coast, Oregon and Washington. So he's all of a sudden in the desert. It's going to be different. So finding work that works with that different, that's going to be something. I honestly think that he'll be good at the gig jobs, you know, delivery, handyman type work, caretaking houses, landscaping, nursery work, maybe marijuana work, growing, that kind of shit, delivery. There's all kinds of good shit. So we'll see. But I think the gig jobs are probably a lot better because you can kind of write your own ticket, write your own schedule, that kind of thing. Well, it works for us out here. Works really well for my wife and I, doing the whole gig thing. And there she is. Let me go see what's going on. Right back. Maybe. Bathroom. Okay. Well, anyway, it's getting close to tickety-tock, tick-tock. I may check out of here early if it looks like my wife's got something to talk about or a direction to go in today that's going to happen soon. Like I always say, family comes first. And if her brother is going to be in town and is around and available like now, then yeah, I'm out of here and we're going to go do something. Totally. Because the last time he was here a few weeks ago, a month or so, he didn't have a chance to come over here. She went and they went and did stuff, but I didn't have a chance to see him. So this will be neat. And I haven't seen him in, since the last time I saw him at some party or reunion or something. But for him to be around on a regular basis is really going to be cool. Really. He's moving into an area that's kind of secluded, so he's really going to have to shoot out to go look for some kind of gig, some kind of job, some kind of work, right? An hour from here, he'll be close to Apple Valley and Barstow and those areas there. Maybe even Victorville if he wants to do some driving. But he'll be in that area there, probably looking for work. He's only about an hour from here, like in Lucerne area, which that's really cool because it's an easy drive. It's a long hour, but it's an easy hour. It's just cruising down one highway with desert and mountains on either side. It's really cool. They filmed a few science fiction movies out on that old highway and a bunch of commercials recently, and it's really cool. I think they even did some of that Fear Factor shit out there. The stuff on the long stretch highways with the dangling. Yeah, I need coffee. I guess I'll wait until my wife gets out here. Yeah, this is great. The fact that she's going to have family around is just fucking awesome. Because we've been stuck out here in the desert. And I don't expect to see family. I mean, it's just in my DNA to not have family who give a shit. So I don't expect to ever see family. But the fact that all of a sudden out of the blue, we get to have her family around, that's just phenomenal. Not just her brother, but her mother is going to show up. Wow, I'm blown away. And the fact that my daughter has spent a few years, 4 years in high school doing Spanish, right? And then has had a few years since, 3 years since, talking Spanish with my wife, right? Wow. This is going to be great. I feel like I should make some hidden videos of those two just sitting and talking, right? I think I'm going to do that. I'm sorry, Natalie, but I'm going to do that, my darling daughter. I am probably going to set up a camera on occasion that you won't see. Because I have cameras set up all the time, right? And I'm just going to have something set up and have something turned on that she won't know about, right? That's it. And I won't use it against her. I won't post it. I won't do anything like that. But I will create a video collection of whatever I can of those three together. Three generations there together on the couch talking. I'm going to try to get those videos and try to get them candidly so that it's, not all, blushing and duck lips and stuff. I don't want, I want it to be real. So I'm going to have to hide the fact that I'm recording. And what I'll do is I'll just come in and say, all right, well, I got to go. I'm going to go sit and read while you guys are in here talking. And I'll just say, okay, my stuff's shut down. So, and then just walk out and leave the computer recording the three of them on camera. Right? That's going to be a beautiful thing. 30, 40 years ago, I could have gotten away with doing it, just having a camcorder and watching, and they would have just gone about their business, right? But nowadays, everybody is on camera. Everybody expects to be on camera and to look and act a certain way, and I just want real, so that my wife and daughter and everybody can look back later and have some real moments saved, right? And I'll take it and cuten it up and put it on, make a video out of it and put it someplace, put it onto DVD more than likely and onto a thumb drive and put those in a place, in a box that gets opened when I'm gone. It's like, hey, what's this? Oh my gosh, look what it says. He did what? That kind of a thing. Yeah, that'll be fun. So I can't wait for my wife to have more family around. That's going to be so bitchin'. So totally bitchin'. Because my daughter hasn't had a lot of time to spend around anybody from my side family. So the people she knows who are family are my wife's side of the family. She doesn't know anybody from my side because there is nobody, There just ain't nobody. There are people who should be there, who are there, but who aren't really there. If they were there, they'd be here on occasion, especially now. But they won't be. So I'll take what I can get. What I can get is my wife's family, and they're good people. So it's a win-win. It's a good trade. But I'll definitely trade the people I was raised by and with for the people that she was raised by and with any day. That's an easy trade. I'd rather they learn my daughter learn lessons from my wife's side of the family than from my side of the family. Usually in teaching our daughter lessons, I defer to my wife, or at least opposite of what my family would have done. Because that's just the facts. That's just the way it is. Well, 15 more minutes of this, and then I have 1 week left starting Monday. Starting Monday, I will be doing a last week. Last week. That's it. I'm going to do a New Year's, and I'm gone. I'm not doing any more time machines. I might, if I get a hair, I might put together a time machine for New Year's with some Rose Parade stuff and some New Year's stuff, post-Christmas stuff. But mostly I'm just going to take a break and retool and reschedule and find all the elements for probably 3 shows a month. I'm going to probably do 3 shows a month. Yeah. I mean, 3 times 12, that's what, 36? That's 36 shows in a full year. I think that's plenty. So I think if I can create files, 36 files, and start dropping elements in those 36 cartoons, 36 music videos times 2, 36 times 3 on the movie trailers, 36 times 12 on the commercials, 36 times this on that, and surprise elements 36 times, and do something like that. And create all of those shows files up front so that every week it's just a matter of combining, editing, splicing, saving, processing, uploading, checking, re-editing, and then take a little time and put a bunch of shows together and upload them and get their checks and redo everything and schedule them so that I'm a month out on video time machines, and just try to get shit programmed in ahead so that when things run dry on the channel, all of a sudden videos start fading, and pretty soon there's no more uploads and no more stuff premiering, and then there's going to be a couple of videos pop up that say, hey, there ain't been much going on my channel lately, huh? Well, if you're watching this video, I ain't around no more. And I think that's probably going to be the end of my channel, which is kind of how I saw it in the beginning. I kind of saw this channel and its arc was from like this point in my life here, and the arc was to the end. And that's the arc of the show. And my character arc in the show is how I change from that guy who did three silent shows in a row. The first 3 shows that I did live were just me sitting in a dark, empty room, drinking tea and smoking pot. And I don't even think I smoked. I don't even think I smoked the first season on camera. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. I don't recall. The first 3 shows I watched, I don't remember smoking, but I might have. So there's been a huge arc in the show, in where I've gone, in my life, things I've done, places I've been, people I've met, and that's continuing. I'm gonna have to put together some video music montage stuff of some of the people and places and concerts and all of that stuff, because that's going to be pretty heavy. I want to do some photo album stuff of the last 25 years, the last 56 years, right? The last 5 years. I want to do these videos that kind of encapsulate certain eras and portions of my life, right? And I've been gathering photos and videos and elements and different, stuff so that I could try to pull these things off. And over the last year, I've learned a lot about what I can do with this stuff. So now I think it's time to start pumping out those commercials about the reunion, and then double down and pump out videos and documentaries about the past in earnest, big time, So yeah, I think it's time to get ready to do my last bong hit. Do my last bong hit of the morning here on the morning show. Anyway, I probably will be done. Usually I get done with this morning show, and I'm pretty done with smoking until like after lunch. And then I'll get a little bit of a load on, and then if I'm drained, which I usually am, then I'll usually look at taking a nap by about 2, so that I can be up by about 4, right? And that's getting up once or twice during that couple of hours nap, taking a leak and then trying to go back to sleep, and then an alarm going off and me deciding if I want to snooze or just turn that fucking alarm off and go back to sleep for another hour. And then if I do that and I sleep past 4, I'll usually sleep past 6 or 7, and then I'll wake up really late and I won't want to eat dinner, and then I'll eat dinner really, really late, and then I'll be up all night because I can't lay down after I eat really, really late, and then I'll be in here and I'll get wrapped up doing something in here, and then I'll have all of that energy from eating late. It's just horrible, man. Fucking horrible. But at this point, I'm starving. It looks like I'm going to grab some breakfast before I start puking coffee here. And probably work on something with my wife. She's awake early. I don't think she has anything she needs to go out and do today other than the house we need to go clean. So we're probably going to work on that ceiling light. And then I might, if I'm in the feel, I might work on another light over here in another part of the house and work on that switch. It's a one switch that's really recessed behind the drywall, and I need to put another frame there, a retro frame over the hole, and then bring that outlet out and hook it to the top of the retro frame, and then wire in another switch, and then wire all of that up to the ceiling. And once I do that, then it's just a matter of getting a light, right? So I might try to knock out two birds with one stone, so to speak. But anyway, it's the last bong hit of the day. The kitchen's waking up. Hop sing. All right, cover me. I'm going in. Ha. All right, so look for a new weekly program guide this evening, and that's it. I will be back on Monday morning with one more week of this shit before I take a break. I've done just about a year of this stuff, and I think I need to retool, do something different. So I will be back on Monday for the last week, and then we can start thinking about what's going to happen. What's it going to be like? What's the new... yeah, I don't think it was the... I don't think it was the camera. I think it's the cable. Something wrong with that cable, maybe. One end feels a little floppy, so it just might be Vienna. Yeah, I'm telling you. So we're going to see a show this weekend. Big Sandy and his Fly Right Boys tomorrow night at Pappy and Harriet's in Pioneer Town, California, just down the road. So that'll be fun. I hope to have exciting stuff to talk about on Monday, so be sure to tune in. And be sure to tune in and hang out, because it's going to be my last week for at least 3 weeks, maybe longer. We'll see. So look for me coming back sometime in February. Good old February. Yep. Yes, sirree, Baba Rooney. I will be around for the new year, so we can hang out and go, yay, and then talk about, yay, old out, new in, what are you going to do different, that kind of shit. And I'm going to keep the tree around until I'm gone, because it just looks nice. It's pretty. I like it in the corner of my picture. Right? Totally. Another week in the can, man. I'm looking at my file of morning show stuff, and I can't wait to sift through all of this stuff and reorganize it down to just the basics. I want so much for this to just be a 1, 2, 3, I'm on, 1, 2, 3, I'm gone. And not have to focus on shit, where's this, where's that, what do I do, how do I get, oh man, I know I want to look at a picture, where is it? I want to have shit just set up so that I can just go. And it's just going to take a lot of digging through all of these files and organizing shit out. Look, here's all of these photos. They're all right here in this file. You know, you don't have to go any further. Here's all of your captions, all of your titles, everything. Get into be able to putting graphics on the screen and stuff when I'm doing live. A click of a button and I can do music and video and, you know, everything. So that's kind of where I'm hoping that this gets to with this next year, this next season. Who knows how long it's going to last, right? I'm here until I'm not. That's it. That's all I can say. No guarantees. Because as in life, there's no guarantees. So we just take what we get and go with what we got, right? That's all I can do, baby. Let me get my little, there we go. All right, so let's see. I am going to go ahead and find my closing credits and get that booted up. So I just want to say thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I will see you guys Monday on the flip-flop. But I want to, you know what the deal is. You know what's going on, the usual. Be nice to each other, be kind, spread peace and love, not bullshit. Do something for yourself, but just as much, do something for somebody else, because we're not alone in this world, we're together, right? So help each other out. The person standing next to you, if you don't know them, say, hi, how's it going? You all right? It's what we can do, we're human, man. All right, most of all, people, stay weird, because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody going to be weird for you. And like I said, love you. Take care. Adios. I'll see you Monday. Bye now. Totally.